Got Baxter up. I am good to go.
Yay!
Put GDQ in the background so I'm not distracted.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. I give you a full blown Alabaster. Not the same thing as a character sheet, but like the cheat sheet showing all of his abilities to make it easier for you to like, what can I do in this moment? Like I like his crush ability. It only affects one person, but it's like he doesn't have to make an attack roll if he makes the other person make a saving throw. And when he gets to the next, not size category in the terms of what you guys thinking, but like age categorization. When he goes to the large size dragon, Crush becomes everyone in a 10-foot radius. He just picks an area and he jumps over on them and he just jumps everyone there and be like, I crush everyone here. Everyone has to make a saving throw or take damage from my body landing on them.
Move, bitch! Get out the way!
Get out
pretty
the
much.
way. Get out the way.
And then at the final age category, huge, it's a 20-foot radius, so it's a fireball burst. Make a saving throw or take my bite damage. Everybody here.
He's just basically belly flopping on people. That's what it sounds like.
You're literally belly flopping on people.
Cool.
The only problem with Crush is that if someone decides to not make the saving throw and take the damage, they can choose to hold their weapon up and make an attack roll against Alabaster. They get a bonus to hit, and they can inflict double damage on him.
Yeah, Alabaster is pretty hurt right now.
Yes, he is. He's at 12 hit points or something like that.
Where did I write it down?
On the back of Blart's sheet, I think he put
I think
12 out of
so.
42. Yeah.
Damn.
Yep. Yeah, he took some damage.
Well, we got potions and I got a couple of spells. So.
Yeah, it's because he became the target, the focus, because he's legitimately the largest thing in your group.
Which is totally fine.
He's a baby.
He's not a baby. He's like 15 years old, 14 years old.
Baby.
I mean, in terms of dragons, that's pretty baby.
He's
right. In terms of Eleonora's, that's baby.
Okay, no, fair enough on that. But in terms of being a white dragon, he's technically a sexually mature adult. He's old enough to have a spawn of his own. He's not well known enough or have a large enough horde to attract a mate, so that's not going to happen. But like he could. He just doesn't have a cool car and a good job.
Such a poser, man. So,
I mean, really, you got to look at the parents.
He's interning right now, hoping that it leads to a really good job later on.
Yeah.
He's just got to find his dragon lady that's okay with the fact that he's got, to answer to Blart.
So, most dragons that aren't white have like actual sentience, and can, reason and gather and barter.
Sure, but Blart isn't that.
So the way it actually works is there's a percentage chance based on type of dragon, based on which of the three life categorizations they're in. White dragons have a 10% chance to be a talking spellcasting type. That means 90% of the small white dragons, the initial stage of their life, when they're still technically they're sexually mature adults in that stage, but they haven't started sacrificing hordes to do the rituals to get to the next stages. Yeah, it's a 90% chance that they're non-talking and spellcasting. So Alabaster is a normal white dragon in that he's part of the 90%.
He's just a baby.
So what you're saying is we need to go around killing all the sentient ones. Viva la proletariat. I'm just trying to figure out how exactly do dragons then go about, like, gathering riches if they can't, reasonably suss out where those riches might be hiding? Do they have, like, gold piece radar built in?
Okay, you're mistaking not talking or being able to spellcast with being so stupid that they can't like figure out that they want to collect shinies.
was gonna say,
Alabaster has
Crow's
a 5
not-
intelligence.
Which
He
is a crow.
smarter. Yeah, Alabaster is smarter than the dumbest human being. He is smarter than the average chimp. He is smarter than the average crow. Only
Smarter
just.
than the average bear.
He's a lot smarter than the average bear.
Someone needed to say it. I'm sorry.
Fair enough.
Small.
I like this the smarter than the dumbest human. That's funny.
Yeah. There's some very unintelligent humans that probably wouldn't be able to gather a good horde for themselves to reach, apotheosis, even if it was given to them.
They might just pick the wrong horde.
Yeah.
So from an IQ standpoint, Alabaster is 2 standard deviations below norm, which puts him at somewhere between 70 and 85 IQ. The fact that he's at the higher end of that means that he's probably closer to like high 70s or 80 IQ. It's just he's mute. He doesn't talk because his brain doesn't think in the form of that language. Like there's some draconic communication that can happen, but he's just not a talker. Like he hasn't learned like humanoid languages because very few white dragons are smart enough to put in the effort to do it.
Draconic? Is that possible?
You could get some skill to be like an animal handler and learn to read like his body language and stuff, but most of the communication that he does with the dragons is in the form of body languages or like particular roars and things like that. It's very much like what apex predators do with each other.
That's
It's
what
like how lions
Chris Pratt
communicate, how
does
wolves communicate.
in. He's Chris Pratt.
Yeah, you could do that. You could become Chris Pratt from Jurassic World.
You gotta hold out the hand at all times, otherwise he eats you.
Remember
Or,
all of
I mean,
the
honestly,
memes?
theoretically, more likely you could become the guy from the movie Beastmaster and have that kind of connection with your animals. Because, this is a D&D world. Alright, where were we?
Just finished that fight, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. This is going to be session 55. We are
Nice.
55 sessions in.
It's quite a bit. Quite a number of sessions.
We are 55 sessions and 3.5 years into this campaign.
That's awesome.
Mhm.
Even managed to do an in-person session.
Yeah.
I look forward to doing, maybe another 1 or 2 of those this year, hopefully.
That'd be really neat.
The next time Jay is up and around in this area or arrange something, we can do another in-person one.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Dope.
Because, while I could just come over to your guys' house, because that's not a huge deal, that's still there. There's that level of weirdness when you have that one guy who's on computer.
Yeah.
Right.
It's not impossible to do, but it's a level of weirdness where, it's easy for that person to feel disconnected from the group.
Yeah.
I don't know. I
And
kind of
no-
like when I'm on the computer and everybody else is on other devices.
Fair enough. I just wouldn't want to, specifically do something that could potentially make someone feel excluded at the table, other than
You're right.
at the table. I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah. It's also really hard if you're on the tablet and you're trying to speak up or see a map or coordinate.
Lift
with a
me
single
over
player.
the table, bro.
Yeah,
Lift me
exactly.
up.
And I can be hard enough to talk over online on the mics. So if I'm in person and you have to compete against me in person and you're on a mic,
Good luck.
that's hard.
Not to mention, me and Mana like to cook when we have guests over, and then that one person won't get any.
Yes, and we'd be making fun of them the whole time because they wouldn't get any.
Well, it'd be more like you'd be making irresistible mouth noises, and we wouldn't fault you for that, but they might feel sad. Dang it.
We should do a pulled pork the day before, and then wrap it and hold it.
Ooh.
And that way you can hold the temp until it's ready for the next day.
That's some good stuff right there.
Yeah, it is.
All right, let's see here. Yeah, no one leveled last time. Not even
Nope.
Avina. Avino.
She's getting
No.
close.
She's getting close, but
I'm not tired.
We got the experience of getting a Pokemon and a magic scroll thingy. That gives us a room.
Yes. Well, specifically, you got the Pokemon. It doesn't actually like anyone else in the group.
Well, no, I got yeah. I mean, I got that, but we got like that egg thing, right? That's supposed
Oh,
to be
yeah,
like a
yeah,
Pokeball. Yeah. More or less.
Who's holding the egg? Because it turns into an animal once. You're like, I choose you, and you get to have an animal pet for.
I thought we
a
used a
while.
little less.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
That, he that turns him into a
No one
force
else wanted
multiplier.
it, and so I was like,
I
okay.
think- Linus dropping it from the air would be hilarious.
I was thinking about that. Just turn into a bird and just caw motherfucker.
It turns into like a freaking elephant. Boom.
Just
If one of you
drumstick
would rather
him.
have it, by all means. I don't want to give my child a dangerous toy. I just think it's funny if he has it.
It is.
He can
I mean, he
better
he'd
one
use it. He's definitely the kind of guy who's willing to use it when he's like, oh yeah, this is the time. Throw it out now.
Yeah.
He's not going to be like, oh, I gotta wait till the boss fight.
No. It's his easy method of kill stealing if he doesn't have a dagger to throw.
Oh man.
And then who has the scroll? The scroll of shelter.
Girl.
Scroll.
Skrull.
Yeah, the one that you put up on the wall and
Yeah.
open up into a 10x10 room that has like a bunk bed and like a table and like a fire going.
Found.
Let's see.
Fucking dope.
Uh,
It's about time we got some fire living establishments here.
I know, right? We still don't have like a haversack or a bag of holding or anything.
That would be nice.
We have enough money. Could we just buy one? Like, can't we
You
just
can
spend a map in the
start
city?
looking for one the next time you're in the big city. Yeah.
Do
We are
we want to go to
currently-
a big go to a big city and go shopping?
We are sort of far from that at the moment.
I get
Yeah.
that, but like when we're done doing this,
Yes. The answer is yes.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I
mean-
let's see, why not?
We're not far from finishing exploring the islands.
We've been making and not like small investments either. I mean, you bought a farm. We got
You guys
now
own a
like
three-story
we got
home
we have
in that big city.
Yeah,
You guys,
We-
do you remember that house you bought? You bought literally a 3-story house.
we did.
How
in a
many
big
thi-
city in a nice
and I
neighborhood.
rented it.
how many
We rented it
soldiers do
out.
we have in our fucking army at this point? I think we got like a dozen fucking between like the
We
hobgoblins,
definitely have
goblins.
almost a battalion, I would call it. Little
Okay, yeah,
militia.
You guys have like that dozen hobgoblins who are at Mana's farm.
Mhm.
holding
Just
down the
chilling.
fort for her.
And 2 ogres.
2 ogres. Who else did you bring there? Didn't you leave something else
Wasn't-
there recently?
Wasn't there another more intelligent hobgoblin or something
Yeah.
that
like
was
that?
an orc.
No, orc.
It was an orc.
Oh, that's right. The orc. hero.
Sark.
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 Yeah.
The one that's
He
Sock.
it said
Well,
Sark.
When we get back, we're just gonna call him Sock because we forgot
Sock.
his name.
Hey Sock, how's it going? No, yeah, we were like, you can stay here. We'll protect you. You can rebuild. And he was like, okay.
Yeah, he. You actually had leveled him by doing stuff. He was Sark of the left grip. He's a level 5 orc. He is competent at what he does. And you guys left off in the giant chamber, the vast hollow. Specifically, you guys had reached the pool. That's that last image there. So just north of the upper plateau where you had where Asiago had made friends with the fire-breathing lizard through magical means. You guys had climbed down the various top areas and then journeyed along the left-hand side. Because I think you guys were kind of using like the rule of left in this giant chamber.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Right.
and had come to that giant pool of water.
With the mushrooms that are not illuminescent, which would have been cool, but they're not.
No, yeah, this is a giant forest. There's that vague light coming from the ceiling that's reddish, but the actual mushrooms here are literally just like 20 to 40 foot tall mushrooms that are the size of trees.
Big old slimy
Yeah.
boys.
And then, were you guys gonna head along the wall into the mushroom forest, or were you gonna skirt the edges of the mushroom forest?
think
we
we're
need to
s-
heal
skirting.
Baxter
Yeah,
first
let me-
and foremost.
Let me get on that. 1 second.
Do that, but yeah, I think initially, and then we ended up encountering that pack of. Was it like a pack of wolves? I can't even remember what we fought.
It was Sabertooth.
Yeah,
Same.
nice cat.
Big cats.
Tried to
Giant
talk to
mushrooms.
them. They're like, ooh, food. And then,
You're a little feral.
oh, feral. Just a smidgen. Where is
Baxter.
book? Monster stat blocks. No.
Nope, that doesn't do it.
Spells, magic items, divine magic. There you are. All right. Cure light wounds. So how fucked up is Baxter?
He
Like that?
is at 12 out of 42 hit points.
Out of 42.
Yeah, he's at 12.
Gosh golly.
Those things were doing the damage.
Oh damn, Cure Light Wounds does not scale with level in this.
No, none of those spells scale with level.
I mean, I think your slots are pretty goddamn valuable as well for whatever situation we get into. We do have plenty of potions of healing. Might be.
Do the potions work on the dragon?
I mean,
yeah.
that's great. Okay, cool.
Pour them all into a pail and then.
Yeah, and the potions do that same amount that Gabe is doing, so if you wanted to have that as a roll for a potion, that's fine.
Let's just do potions.
Alright.
That way we can keep spell slots.
I mean,
Alright.
I've got the one Cure Light Wounds spell saved up, and we've all got potions, so it's like,
Does Avina? She has some, because she's a 3rd level cleric. She should have, she keeps
I
like,
gave,
what, two Cure Light Wounds and 1 Cure Moderate, or did you have her do other things?
I gave her a Terrify, and where's her spells? She has a Cure Light Wounds and a Terrify. So have her roll as well. I can just use both my spells because I mean they're reusable and they're exactly the same as a potion.
Okay.
So 11 total, and then we've got a shitload of potions. So let's just burn a couple of potions while we're at it.
So between your two spells, it was 11.
And then just copy this. 2 potions is 9 more, so it's 20.
20 healing. That should be good then. Yeah.
Well, I mean, he's still down 10.
Let's do 1 more. 7. There you go, maxed out.
Yes, there you go.
All right. So and that's out of the group pool, so everyone should have their own private pool as well.
Cool.
Potions.
Alright. So Alabaster, he's at the 39 hit points out of 42. He's
Chugging.
looking much better. Much
Yeah.
better now.
Jump.
He's
Jump.
just got a little bit of flesh wound going on, that's all.
Lets out a big belch, but we kind of like it because it's a
Okay.
healing potion. Yeah.
Alright, so you guys are you're at that lake. It looks like water. It's a very large lake. It's the wall of the cavern is far enough away that you can't really see it from the shoreline of the lake when you're walking along the shoreline,
Oh wow.
because it's like over 500 feet at the furthest.
There's gotta be something around here then that we can explore. It can't just be a barren lake. Who would design such a cavern to have just a lake with nothing? certainly not nature. Nature's too creative for that. He's rolling things. This makes me uncomfortable.
I mean, yeah. I mean, we're just trying to seek out where these goddamn things are coming from, right?
Yeah. And anything else interesting along the way?
I suppose so.
I mean, clearly this is an ecosystem that has survived down here for who knows how long. Linus is fascinated. This place shouldn't exist to his understanding of how nature works. So he is more than happy to spend as much time as you guys are willing just exploring this place and like taking notes.
Well, we've already dropped down at this point. I suppose we could keep on going further, but do you all feel like we should go into and really hug the left wall or go around this mushroom?
Well,
still
yeah,
hugging
because
the
do you
sides
want to hug
around it?
the left wall of the cavern, or do you want to hug the left side of the mushroom forest?
Oh yeah, or I suppose around the right, but outside of it and still hugging the outside. Yeah.
We could do a loop and then push in, or go in and then follow the outside back. Could also scout a bit. Is it light in here at all? Well, aside from the
you
red
can
glow.
see you can see vague things moving or vague outlines of things 200 or 300 feet away because of that reddish light, but you can't see small detail stuff.
Okay.
So if there was a light out there in the distance, you could totally see it. But like if someone's crawling on the ground towards you, they could probably get within your infravision range before you start seeing them.
Okay.
For those of you who have infravision. But like if like a giant is walking towards you, yeah, you could probably see him like 200 feet out.
I wish we had arrows. That way we could maybe like lob some off into the distance, a la like
I mean,
Legend of Zelda.
I can
Well.
I can go owl form and just do a little bit of scouting around us.
That'd be cool.
Are you able to see?
Above an owl.
Are you able to see better in the dark as an owl?
I'd hope so.
I mean, he sees mildly better in the dark. He doesn't have infravision. It's just he's making better use of the light. But better use of the light just means that he can see a man at 200 feet instead of a giant at 200 feet.
Of all the creatures in, our actual reality that should have, in theory, infravision, I would figure it would be owls, which have like one of the largest eye sizes to their body.
Yeah.
What owls really have is they have much better like acuity at long distances than us, but specifically their brain is tuned to notice frame changes. So something's moving in the distance, and owls know roughly how big it is and if it's moving.
Could you do
Because
bat?
that's how they find prey.
Bat with some sonar.
Yeah, would bat work?
I mean, the fact that there's enough light to see out 200 feet and see a man at 200 feet with an owl, the bat isn't going to improve that. The bat would just give you better fine detail close to you. The owl is better at seeing long distances and picking out movement. So if there's people moving 200 feet away, the owl is going to see it way better than the bat would.
Okay.
The bat would just be able to pick out like if there's an invisible person next to you, or if there's like writing on that stone wall, because it would make weird feedback in the bounce back from the sonar. Yeah.
All right.
Or
Do you have a preference on how you're going to fly? Do you want to like skirt the edge of the forest, skirt the wall, go straight into the mushroom forest? Like, what's your flight pattern? Are you going to spiral out from the party?
That's what I was thinking, is start doing a spiral out, like 200 feet increments, so I'm seeing something new every time.
All right. How do you want to start your spiral? Do you want to head north and then spiral away from the lake, or head north and initially spiral over the lake just to do a fly over the lake, and then spiral out through the empty plain and then curve and hit the bottom of the forest and start going up into it?
Do that. You can fly out over the lake. Be very wary of anything, on or under the lake, like watching the water, making sure that I'm not going to get sniped and then drown. Because I wouldn't put it past this place.
tentacle to go.
Yeah, just fucking
Some Cthulhu
no
bullshit.
reach, just shoots out.
Yeah. So
Mile
you start
out.
flying over the middle of the lake. You realize there's the occasional movement in the lake. You think there are fish in the lake that come to the surface.
Okay.
You definitely see movement of like, it's not fast paced like you would see on like a surface lake, It's kind of in slow motion. It's cave life. Cave life is slower, but there's definitely still things eating each other down there.
Alright.
You also realize that about halfway across the wall, you couldn't really see it from the shoreline, but it looks like there's actually kind of a low cave that's 70, 80 feet across, opening into the wall of the cavern that looks like the water continues into, but with an area above it. So if you had like a boat or something, or wanted to get wet, you could easily swim into what looks like a cave going away from this one. It's like 60, 70 feet across. And then you arc around and come back over towards everybody else. You're pretty quick. This still takes you a couple minutes to kind of looping. Owls are not the fastest flying. They're one of nature's slowest flying birds.
I mean, yeah, I'll let them know. I'll be like probably half an hour of just like cruising around, getting a
Yeah.
lay of the land.
Gonna give him some rope to hang on to. It's gonna be like walking our pet owl in this dank, dark cave.
I like it.
I'm sure someone in Oakland has already, or not Oakland, Portland's already done it. This is my pet owl, Phineas.
All right, so after circling that, you circle out across the plains. You can see where you guys have been walking. You think you see in the distance, towards the south, maybe towards the base of the giant plateaus that rise up on the south side. After you've passed the point where you guys have dropped down, you think you see maybe evidence of where there's a giant ant colony, because you think you see some ants moving around as you fly over. The ants can't mess with you, so you just fly over them. But you think you've located where there's a giant ant nest on the southern side. It's about 500, 600 feet down the plateau from where you guys had made your drop. So it's over to the eastern side. Not all the way to the east, but like 500 or 600 feet east from where you guys had dropped down at the intersection. So actually pretty close. Had you guys just chosen to move a couple hundred feet over and drop down, you might have dropped down close enough to attract all of the ants' attention.
Oh lordy.
So at that point, you're cruising up and you start moving out across the mushrooms. Now, did you want to just do a quick like spiral or two over the southern half of the mushrooms and then come back to the group? Or did you want to like spend some extra time and like loop around maybe like, well, potentially quite a few times depending on how big the mushroom forest is, to try to like get your 200 feet in each direction kind of swath above the mushrooms over all the mushroom forest? What's your plan?
Yeah, if like kind of keep an eye on where the group is, make sure I don't see, frantic movement that would be indicative of like combat or something. And then, if it seems like everything's on the up and up as I do like a pass back by, I will do a good pass over the mushroom forest, see if there's anything of relevance or interest over there.
Yeah. All right. So I have some larger areas for you, but you also took a little longer in time. It was closer to an hour of you flying around here in this giant place, basically looking for trouble.
I think he just went off and got stoned somewhere. He probably did.
I mean, 50-50.
Bet a
Six
gold
and
nut.
four?
Into the mushroom forest. He's just tripping balls up right now.
Bet a gold nut.
Yeah, hindsight.
Motherfucker just wanted to smoke some weed and didn't want to fucking let us in on it. This
Sneaky bastard.
no.
Plan all along.
It should probably feed Baxter, huh? Or do healing potions actually fill you up some? I'm not sure how that works exactly.
They don't really feed you up.
They're low carb.
We got a bit of food in them, I think, like, at some point last session. I remember that, but yeah, certainly. There's interest there. I mean, I suppose you're just getting back. Maybe you're really letting the information. I mean, where there's water, I get a little quick fishing in right here. I mean,
Yeah, I mean,
Asiago, do you even have bait? What kind of bait do you think works in a cave like this? I'm legitimately curious.
whew, that's a great question. And I have like a giant lizard that I'm actually taking care of. Probably should distract myself with. All
I
right,
understand that
second
the
time.
inclination to want to indulge in your hobby is high right now.
Um,
After all, I miss my farm as much as the next person. But time might be of the essence, and though I imagine your creature might be getting a bit peckish, and I suppose there's some benefit to be had.
I mean, yeah, I think I would imagine he just chowed down a little bit on these saber tooths that we just.
Yes, but perhaps he's still hungry.
Oh, certainly. Well, we need to continue moving on. I mean, I suppose with the information we have there, I mean, I don't think it'd be a wise idea to jump into a colony of ants by any means, so we're not doing that.
Absolutely not.
So,
I mean, wouldn't it be food for your lizard?
all we'd need to do, honestly, is charm the queen, and then we'd have an entire ant colony to work with us.
Oh, you know, only.
Only, he says.
Mhm.
Well, I mean, you are the druid. How hard is it for you to charm a queen in your particular
Well,
sect?
first I gotta woo her, buy her dinner, say nice things.
Promises you don't intend to keep.
Mm-hmm. Convince her I'm better than the tens of thousands of potential suitors that are in her colony. You know.
So avoid the ants, but apart from that, we're gonna just go. Okay.
Well, let's see if there's anything else that's cool out of this mushroom forest.
Let's have the lizard lead the way. Yeah, give me a second.
Andy is
I'm not a
coming in
fan.
handy.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the new paint program in Windows 11.
What, is it Paint 3D or?
No,
Years ago.
the interface is just a little wonkier, and they added layers, but like it.
That's just not good. They basically
Yeah.
tried to copy GIMP, but left out all the cool features of GIMP.
Yeah. Very much so. That agrees with my assessment.
dude, they just had to rip 40 minutes of this run.
Oh no.
Dude, I don't know about running this game on MCC, man. Master Chief Collection does not bode well. This is worse than our.
Okay. So
Technical difficulties. Did it crash or did they just die?
Crash.
Oh no.
So flying above it. Yeah, we can just make that. The star is the ant colony. I forgot. I was trying to move it around and it wouldn't let me move it well.
Okay.
So I did not get that done quick. But that's basically, yeah, you found an ant colony there. The forest is pretty fucking large. Remember, each square is 500 feet.
Jesus, yeah.
That's like a
And
Mushroom
almost
Kingdom.
a mile?
the 5 is actually way too big. It's just representative because they needed to show it so it was easy to see at a distance. That's actually only in 1. It's kind of in the middle of the intersection of where the center of the village is. All of those are huts for a village. It's just they're not 1,000 feet across. They're actually only like 200 feet across. It's just that wouldn't have looked very good, so they made it way too big. And there's a chasm that you see beyond it. You couldn't see down to the bottom, so it's deeper than 200 feet. And you can see the wall of the cavern along the left-hand side there. So looking down into it, this giant microbial forest, you can see occasional clearings. You can see various different types. You can also see movement down there. You think they're ants. There might be more than one ant colony down inside there. You think the ants are, just eating off of the mushrooms.
Interesting.
And then there's other things moving that move higher up, but they don't move higher than the caps of the mushrooms. So it looks like bulbous round things, but you are looking at them from the top down, So you actually don't know what they might look on the bottom. It might just be that they have some sort of top shell that you're seeing. Because you weren't flying below the levels. I imagined you were flying at least 50, 60 feet up, so you were not below the level of it, just in case there's ambush guys from the tops of the mushrooms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there
So there's
are.
definitely things moving around down there. You definitely spotted ants. You spotted a few other things that had what might be either as like shells on top that are round, or might even be like mushroom caps that are moving. So maybe there's mushrooms that are moving, but they seem to be moving independently or away from the ant.
Hmm.
Are they edible?
Well, they're moving. Perhaps they're friendly.
We should
Oh
go
no,
find
I'm
out.
sorry. The 5 was not actually the village. 5 is in fact those were holes in the ground, and it is spread out in an area that big. There are dozens and dozens of holes that are like 12 to 15 feet across, scattered across the floor of the cavern there.
Fuck that.
Oh lordy! Do I see anything in the holes when I go down near them?
How low do you get?
I mean,
How low
Like-
do you get? How low?
How low do you go?
Yep.
Oh,
There
no.
it
Let's
is.
go. How low do you go,
I
Captain?
said,
How
you want to
low
put it in my
do
butt?
Go
you
for
go?
it.
In my butt.
Just fucking.
I mean, when I spy them, if I can't see anything immediately in or around them, like I'll start doing some like lazy spirals to see if I can like spy anything until I get about maybe like 100 or 50 feet above them.
You think you see in one of them, you see a mouth of God, you see a pile of what looked like kind of like earthworms or something on that. It's a worm of some sort, but they're like the size of a man's forearm, and it looks like they're moving through the body of a dead ant. And there's looks like a dozen of them just eating on a dead ant. One of the giant ants.
What if we pulled a grounded and we take the ants that we set on fire and we affix them to ourselves like armor and try and like don't be suspicious our way into the colony, and then you can romance the queen. I don't have a plan from there.
I mean, just make sure we're not broadcasting that when he starts romancing the queen.
I mean,
Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious.
that's on him. Like, I assume he knows how to woo. What is the sexual maturity for a human? I'm honestly, it seems like it gets younger and younger each time, but it doesn't seem
Look.
particularly appropriate.
I just realized that I now.
I
have to
think
say
it should
this.
be 37.
Druids, the bards of the animal kingdom.
Yep.
Right, I think it should be 37. I don't know how old Brother Linus is. Are you 14?
37.
15?
37?
I think
Damn.
37 is
you-
the appropriate age for mating for humans. It seems like the age where you might eventually start to figure out how things should go.
Like where to put what into what? Because that's
No, like
that happens really
emotional,
early.
spiritual, and sexual maturity. I think anything before that, you're just thrusting violently, and who wants that?
Those poor bastards. I don't know a lot of humans that live to 37, honestly. This day and
I mean, that doesn't sound that
dangerous
bad.
world out there.
It is a dangerous world out there, yeah. It's like if they're not having kids till 37, humans are gonna die off real quick. Linus is 17. He's a far cry from 37.
I have socks older than him.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I'm wearing
like
them
a-
currently.
I am
actually.
an elf. They are handcrafted by my grandmother. You will put some respect on her name.
I mean, in real life, I have T-shirts older than 17.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah. True. It's true.
I hope none of my socks are 17 years old. But now that I think
I'm
about
a
it,
big
maybe.
guy. Like socks that I wear are not going to last 17 years. They're going to get ground away to nothingness over
I
over
just
even
Well
bought new
before that.
socks.
3 or 4
Yeah.
years. Yeah. And I don't keep a drawer of like, my fancy socks that I only wear on special holidays. I don't have any of those. I buy socks to wear every day.
You don't have fancy holiday socks?
No.
Yeah, your Christmas
no.
socks, your New Year's socks, your
St.
Martin Luther
Patter's Day
King
sock.
For a while there, one of my brothers decided he hated doing laundry enough where, in order to cut down on the amount of laundry he did, he would just buy new socks and underwear rather than do laundry.
That's
That's
honestly
like
kind of a vibe.
peak consumerism
Yeah.
right there.
Sweet Jesus.
He even rationalized. He's like, you know how cheap it is?
Did he ever hear the fable of the king and the spoon? How he eventually went bankrupt from throwing away every spoon after every bite?
What?
Nice.
It's shit white people tell their kids. Don't worry about it.
It's a oh my god. The story is really simple. It's a king hears the tale
I
of
think I get
a
it.
leader who throws away his spoon after every bite. So he's like, I can do this. And then eventually he goes bankrupt doing it, goes to meet this king. Turns out it's some Indian chief who eats with a tortilla and finishes tortilla, and tosses away the remains, and gets a new tortilla. It's really a fable about,
Keeping up with the Joneses and perception and.
No, it's just eat with a tortilla. It's just way more efficient. You get food with your spoon and just...
Yep, and that's why we are incorporating Hispanic stuff to white people stuff.
Yep.
That's like how you get
That's
diabetes.
the real reason. That's the real.
It is the real reason.
No, come on. Then we can start having snacks where we just like take a corn tortilla, put it on like an open flame for like 30 seconds each side, and then put some salt on it, and that's our snack.
Alright, so I need to
Buddy.
carry around pocket tortillas.
Not what you guys do.
Pocket tortillas.
Yeah. Like a little fanny pack that like has like a little heating. Like corn head. Keep those nice and fresh, and yeah, whatever life calls, just pull out tortilla and just.
It's a dungeon right here.
At this point, the fucking ants are eating us. Like, ah!
Eat the tortillas
No.
instead. Come
Eat
on.
the tortillas.
I really tried to
Yeah.
make it so the ants would eat you. If you go look, I failed to get any wandering monsters the entire time.
Yeah.
No. I was disappointed. I saw all those
And-
rolls and I was like,
And the
"Nothing
one
happened."
wandering monster where Gabe literally taunted me with like, "Go ahead and roll on the chart," was a monster that is on the ground. He's flying.
That's fucking funny.
My personal feeling is we don't need to bother with ants or holes in the ground with monsters. I mean, we could maybe push east and start revealing some of that area. 'Cause I don't know
Yeah,
if
I
you
mean,
want to go west into that cave through the
I'd be
water.
fine if you guys want to go mess with the holes in the ground. That sounds great to me.
Let's not do this.
And I don't know how deep that mushroom forest goes. It's quite expansive, it sounds like.
It's a really big mushroom forest. We're talking thousands of feet across. This is a huge
Yeah, that's massive.
inside
Yeah.
a cave forest.
Linus is really interested in exploring the mushroom forest, but he also saw things lurking in the shadows above and is not wanting to tempt whatever drop bears exist in a mushroom forest.
In fact, I think that mushroom forest is larger than Central Park in New York by not a little bit.
That's a big fucking forest. Underground, no less.
Yeah,
Like, if
it's because it's 4,000 feet by. Like the main block of it is 4,000 feet by 3,000 feet with a little nub that's an extra 2,000 feet, like a triangle that has a height of 2,000 feet and a base of 3,000 feet. So it's a huge amount of area.
Damn impressive.
And you did see movement, like not all over the place, like everywhere, but like there was movement spread across the whole thing. There's at least a couple of ant colonies, but there's also at least a couple of things that from above looked like they might have been like giant moving mushrooms. You're not totally sure, but could have been. And some things that kind of look like mushrooms from above, but from the angles you were at, you oftentimes didn't see anything below them. So there might be flyers that just have like caps on them, or it could be that they're something else entirely that just from above looks like a round kind of bowl shape. So it might be, like flying, like hermit crabs or something. Who knows?
Flying hermit crabs? Jesus.
I'm reaching. You don't know.
People, crab people.
I was to say, flying crab people.
Well, I mean, eventually everything evolves into crab, so.
That's true. Carcinization happens to the best of us and the worst of us. Pretty much everything, actually. Well.
How do you guys want to proceed? Along the wall, through the middle of the forest, along the edge of the forest, maybe back south so you can explore along, take the rule of right instead and explore along the base of the plateau.
Probably the edge of the
Let's
forest.
go check out that cave.
The cave in the cave.
The cave in the cave, yeah. Cave
The cave that's in the water. That's the cave.
Is it underwater or is it like partially
No,
submerged?
the base of the cave is submerged. The top of the cave is 50 feet above. Like it's just a big opening. It's like a giant natural cavern in the side of this cavern wall. It's a tunnel going out, but it's like 60 feet across, 50 feet high.
I'm sad
it's in the middle of the water.
Okay. I'm sad we didn't actually get that folding boat. That would have been really good.
If you had the folding boat, yeah, that's true. That's true.
If we only had a boat.
Doesn't exist in 5th edition.
I mean, there are things like it, but I just the other things like it are weirder, and like I tried to find something that's more appropriate for what should have been there.
That's fair.
I mean, when you were up there, did you get any sign of what we're looking for as far as those goddamn creatures?
Not in this forest area. They might be elsewhere. So they might be on the other. To the northern edge of it is a giant precipice that drops pretty deep. Let me see. Is it actually 200 feet? Let me double check. The Great Chasm. Oh, no. You could see the bottom of it, but it looks like the bottom of it was like 100 feet down. Although in some places, it can vary. Some places it was a little closer. Some places it was a little further down. But it was this giant chasm that you could not see the other edge of from the side you were on. So it's this big drop. But that's just the part. That's just this side of the cavern that you were on. You didn't actually go to the other side.
We could head to the cavern or the chasm, and then I can continue to scout while you guys travel.
All right. I think that works. Better than just sitting here any longer than we need to.
Yeah.
All right. Tell me which way you're going.
Heading towards that partially submerged cavern, and I'll continue to do some additional scouting while they travel up.
So my feeling.
When you say
Go for
the
it.
partially submerged cavern, you mean you're gonna cross the lake? Do you guys have a method for crossing the lake?
Oh, I thought it was on our side.
No. If you look at the picture, look at the lake. You can see there's that big opening on the far side of it.
Oh, gotcha.
In the far cavern wall. You would not have noticed it from the shore because you guys didn't. But when you flew over the middle of the lake, you could see it because you're an owl and you were in the middle of the lake.
Is there a shore along the wall?
You can't easily tell how deep the water is, so you don't know how fast it just drops off. It could be a foot deep and not a big deal to walk, or it could be it drops off, 100 feet down into the water immediately.
I thought we had something that if you dropped it, it would tell you the distance of it, but maybe that's something that I'm thinking of. From a different
You guys
game.
could easily put a weight on the end of a string and find that out. That's not a huge deal. It's just he was a bird flying, so the water does not. The angle of incident for water with red light is not easy to see anything
That's
inside the water.
That's fair.
Super interested in being in like dark water. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's a bit of a hard pass for Eleonora as well.
I could go scout the entrance to that place.
Can you
see if
turn
there's-
into like an otter or a crab? Can we full circle this conversation and have you turn into a little crab? Little Sebastian?
Little Sebastian? Get
Little
eaten by a giant fish.
Just a tasty little snack.
I mean, turn into a river otter and then you just go eat everything else.
There you go.
There you go.
One of those Amazonian river otters.
Mm-hmm.
You turn into a tiger. Tigers can swim. Elephants can hold their breath. You got options.
Actually, pretty much almost every mammal swims better than humans do.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're
We're
really not
really,
supposed to go in the water.
No. We do it far too often.
It's our
Then
hubris.
get eaten by sharks.
Or exploded by pressure.
Or that. All right.
It's actually us. It's the great apes. We actually suck in the water. We're better at swimming than chimps
I
are
think
and
I was gonna
gorillas
say I
are.
think orangutans are fine.
Orangutans are fine, but like chimps and gorillas are not. They suck at water.
Yeah. We really don't like it.
And yet, water also kind of sucks for us. But like, we're willing to put in the effort to swim.
Because someone told somebody you can't go in there, and a dude went meh, and then proceeded to go in there.
And then he drowned. Yeah.
No,
Yep.
And then the next guy did it, but he found something to eat, and so we kept doing it.
Yep.
For the food.
Okay. Do we want to? I can go scout the edge of the cave, see if there's anything interesting, see if there's any like tracks and shit. Or we can just head to the pit, maybe. See if there's anything over interesting at the pit. I could go down into the pit. Sounds dangerous as fuck, but
Oh yeah, that sounds like a wonderful
More or less
plan.
dangerous in the water.
You should
Yeah.
just fly into one of the holes. That's
Well,
gonna be the best.
I would
it really
say
is.
the
Stick
only
your head in there.
the one thing to consider is I don't think my giant fire breathing snake or lizard friend is going to be crossing any of this water. So
I mean, he might like swimming. You don't know. Could ask him. Hey, buddy.
how many do
Yeah,
you want to?
He's not a fan of water. Yeah, unless it's boiling. Like he's fine with the pools of water that are boiling. He doesn't like water that's like room
Cold
temperature.
and murky.
Dark
Yeah.
water.
The Legend of Darkwater. It was a great little show.
By the way, Gabe, you explored basically like a mile to the north.
Sweet. Well, why don't you guys then maybe we start heading towards this giant crevasse, and I can just scout the entrance to this cave and see if there's any signs of life.
All right. Something.
It's okay.
Yeah.
While the group is edging along the side of the forest, basically they're going to cut between the forest and where the large field with those huge holes are,
Yeah.
and head for the crevasse. You're going to fly across the water and start flying up into the natural cavern.
Yeah, just kind of scout the entrance a little bit. You know, if I see any movement or anything that looks, like it's gonna eat me, obviously get the fuck out. Kind of scout it quite a bit before I even poke my head in, just to make sure that there's not gonna be people just chilling on the ceiling waiting to ambush me as I fly in.
So you've easily flown more than half a mile in, and it keeps going, kind of twisting, but roughly heading in a southwesterly direction. How much longer do you want to keep going? It's like 50 feet high above the water. There's still a river going beneath you. You actually think the water is slowly flowing out of that other room. So it's possible that pool out there that you saw was actually where the water was dropping down from the plateaus above. That in the boiling pools, the water seeping down, like falling in and filling that giant pool, wasn't heated there, so it cooled down. And the water is slowly flowing out along this slight incline through this giant cave network that's slightly angling down to the southwest.
Do I see any signs of habitation?
No, it's actually gotten real dark in here because there's no more of the lichen on the ceiling. So it's almost completely black.
Well, this may be our route out, but if it's too dark to really see very well, and I'm not seeing really much of anything, I'll probably just head back.
All right. So the group has been moving along. It's about 20 minutes when you get back to them.
Let them know that I see Jack and shit in that cave, but it is deep and it is long, and if we could get a boat going, we might find something interesting.
Yeah.
Can you turn into a boat?
Well.
Now that you mention it.
So the group continues along. Another 10 minutes. There. Another 10 minutes. you're now kind of near the edge of the field. You guys can see in the distance like a hole that's like 400 feet, 300 feet from you. That's like 15 feet across. You can just catch the edges of it.
Don't go near there. Full of worms.
Yeah. He will mention that the whole area just has these series of holes, some of them up to being like 15 feet across. And he couldn't see the bottom of them because they were winding, twisting affairs. Giant holes all over the place.
Kind of gross.
Good heads up. All right, avoid that.
Yeah, and then the group continues along the edge of the forest before finally coming to the edge of the plateau. And yeah, looking down, it's like 50, 60 feet down. You guys can see a rough bottom floor that looks like a. It's not flat down there. It looks like it's the bottom of where two land areas have literally ripped themselves apart. So there might be another side to this, just out of line of sight, because it looks like the ground's pulling itself apart north to south.
Come.
Do we want to scout this out more? Go across? I'm not seeing any signs of habitation.
Yeah, I mean, basically at this point, you guys are.
There hasn't been any sign of anything culty, living, growing, thriving.
Not here. So
Brewing.
you guys are literally right there in the center of that, at the edge of the cliff going down. You guys can see the mushrooms to your left, and the field with the holes to your right. But the holes don't go all the way up to the edge.
How
So
do
you
you
guys should follow
attract
along.
ancient cult creatures? Can you just? Oh, I fell and I could use some assistance from somebody with many eyes. Some all-seeing, all-knowing cryptid.
Man, could really do with some weird tentacle creatures right now. Be fun to hang out with.
I don't think weird tentacle creatures exist.
Definitely not.
Never
Nev-
seen one before, so clearly they're a figment of someone's overactive imagination.
Doesn't seem too effective.
Well, I'm out of ideas.
Maybe they can't hear us. Try being louder.
Ooh, okay.
You want to throw something in the hole? See what happens?
Yeah,
Throw something.
Oh, tentacled one.
Oh my
I
god.
beseecheth thee.
We challenge you to a rap battle.
Challenge you to a duel.
What?
Notice all the rolls that are being made?
Blibdopulp, blibdopulp, blibdopulp.
Apparently, everything is in other parts of the cavern right now.
Oh my god.
They're afraid of us.
Yeah.
I can't blame them.
Yeah, that is the lesson to take from this.
Yes.
I guess we
We
should
are
just head to
gods.
the east.
So
And clearly
you
nothing
could
bad will
climb
happen
down.
to this cave.
It would be a little weird, or you guys could use Alabaster and fly people over in sequence.
I'm gonna just light a
Or
torch
you
real-
guys, you could start walking along the edge of the chasm and see where it goes and see if there's something along the edge.
I'm gonna light a torch and then drop it down to kind of huck it a little bit.
Oh,
so
yeah,
it
no.
doesn't
This
fall.
is one of the spots where it's actually not that far down. It's like 60 feet down, but it's
Oh,
not
okay.
an even ground floor down there. It's literally like cracks and rocks and angles. It looks like it'd be a pain in the ass to even walk on.
Oh. Alright,
I'm gonna pass
Yeah.
on that.
yeah.
Maybe we
Why-
hug
why
this
don't-
east.
Yeah, why don't we hug the east? I'll dip down in there and fly along it. Do some fucking Star Wars.
Which way do you want to start? Left or right?
Rule of left.
I mean, the left is gonna take us to the wall, right?
Which makes it kind of safe knowing that from here to the wall is okay, potentially.
True.
All right, so he does a flyby to the left first, which does in fact confirm that A, there's another side to it, and B, it does terminate without seeing any caves. But let me double check if something happened or not.
And if it's shallow enough, I can see the bottom from the top. Then I'll fly a bit above it so I can see out to the right as I'm flying along. See the other side of it.
Yeah, while you are doing that, it looks like maybe your guys' yelling had disturbed something. As along your flight,
Well,
you
we're in
can
the
see
air
two
now.
forms
That could possibly
flapping
be.
up towards you. Bats, it looks like, in fact. Very large bats. Very large bats.
Romans! Countrymen!
Go talk to them.
Food?
They're friends of
Very-
yours.
Very large vampiric bats.
Oh.
It's
Fine,
the
if it
giant
looks
bats, but
good,
it's
you
of
could
the
convince
it's of the vampiric variety, the kind that have the teeth and the saliva that does paralysis.
Oh, that
Oh.
one.
Unpleasant.
Gross.
So yeah, Linus, please roll me a d6 for initiative because you're involved in
Aw.
this now.
Fuck out of here.
Defensive maneuver? Do a
14.
barrel roll. Wait.
Yeah, exactly. Flippy, no!
No!
Help me, Fox.
And actually, the rest of the group as well, because there are more bats that are coming up towards you guys because they had been hearing your noise.
Ooh, boy. Alright.
Ah, people, looks like we're getting involved. Do
Well,
things.
yeehaw.
Was it slash or was it
Yeah,
exclamation?
there are 2 bats over by Paper Linus, and then there are 10 bats over towards the rest of you. These bats are each bat probably weighs
Son of a bitch.
Exclamation.
60 pounds. But that means a 60-pound bat has a wingspan of like 15 to 20 feet.
I'm gonna say these are some thick bats.
No, they're just their wingspan is tip to tip like 20 something feet.
Size of a fucking rock. God damn.
Wee.
I'm about to
Rocks
freeze
are-
them out of the
Rocks are
air.
potentially way bigger than that, but yeah.
Turn them into rocks.
Or the fucking the Giga Albatross that used to exist in this world before we killed them all.
This place-
Yay!
Sucks.
Andrew, you're not allowed to roll better than us.
You don't have a moment when it happened.
Turns out.
Shit.
Turns out the bats are quick and agile. All right, so Linus, 2 bats are coming at you.
I take evasive maneuvers.
Duck,
The bats are coming at
Dip,
you. No, they're not.
dodge, dive.
I disagree.
Yeah, no. What are you talking about?
All right, so
Oh,
first
shit.
attack is AC 22.
Can you not do that?
Oh.
You did.
Second attack is
Jesus.
AC 19.
Can you also not do that?
Look, I'm
Sheesh.
wasting all my high rolls on you, Gabe. Like the rest of the group should be happy.
God.
Well, a little bit.
Well, I don't know what my AC is in bird form.
It's gonna be the base bird plus whatever magic things that you have that grant bonuses, like any rings that you might have.
So I'm assuming yes, that will hit because I don't think an owl has an AC. Of,
No, yeah, I think owls have like a 13 or 12 base.
Let me see. Owl. Do we not have stats for owls here? Owl, bear, owl, 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 owl. Go back up.
I may not have thrown an owl in, but owls are like that's just birds. Like not a big deal to figure out.
Yeah, I'll just do bird, 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 bird. Hawk, maybe? You have hawks in here? Harpy, nope. Eagle.
Yeah, there is an eagle.
Oh.
Eagle, giant, 42. Bam. Eagle. AC of 12.
Yeah, that makes sense. So you would have 12 plus your dex plus your any magic that you might have.
Not gonna be 19, unfortunately.
That's fine. All right. First bat. Make a save versus paralysis.
Oh god. Can I unshape shift? This is where I die.
Unshift.
D20 plus.
Control Z.
Alright. Oh god.
Oh,
I am a meat popsicle.
Yeah, you took 1 point of damage though.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
You are only, however, paralyzed for this round.
Oh good.
Yeah. Man, I started rolling badly as soon as I actually, once I hit.
Good.
The other one, trying to hit you. Should really start saving those. Yeah, the D&D bot roller actually has a lot of useful things on it, but I don't make use of it enough.
The Avray has a shitload of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd say the most we use for it is that we can click the D20 character sheet to roll for us. You just click a button and it does a thing.
Yeah, there's a bunch of macro things to so I can label things. Like it's labeled as damage roll.
Yeah, you can do initiative
2
and stuff
points on
for
that
you
one,
too.
by the way.
Okay.
And I'm not gonna make you make the save twice on paralyzed. You're already paralyzed.
Oh, thank you.
That one was more trying to eat anyway, so it wasn't trying to lick you or anything.
That licks. It's weird.
I will say, however, that since you had seen them, you had been starting to wheel over, so you don't fall to the bottom of the chasm. You're falling to the side of it. You're about 100 feet from the rest of the group because you had just taken off when the bats were coming up. So you're within, the group can move to you. It is not an unmovable thing, which means that Avina probably will come running towards you. The rest of the group, bats are coming at you guys.
Offensive.
Offensive. Most of them are probably going after Alabaster because he's the biggest thing. And if they can paralyze him, they think that that's probably their best attack.
Is my fire lizard boy not the biggest thing?
Oh yeah, shit.
Oh
We're gonna
yeah.
split. It's gonna be actually fiver on Alabaster, fiver on your lizard.
Aren't they quarter the size of the giant fire lizard?
Yeah, but if they can paralyze him, they can just sit and suck their blood in peace.
Oh, that's fair. That's fair.
Cool. I want to get Baxter some armor at some point. Dragon armor.
All right. So we have first bite
Jesus fucking Christ.
on lizard. I think that hits.
On lizard, okay.
Second attack on lizard.
Fortunately, they don't do
I
a ton
don't-
of damage.
Yeah, I don't think that actually hits the lizard. The lizard is
Is it really
Sure.
AC 18?
Yeah, I don't. I don't have that handy on me right now.
Yeah, no, I did. It's well. Let me recopy it. So it's
Yeah,
going to be in the B team area.
That's right. Yeah. Bidding.
Because I do like the image. The image actually fits. So he's just a big old broad boy right there.
That's right.
He's going to get real angry, and he's likely just going to want to breathe on them. Because he can pick any group of 5 of them and just. That's probably what he's going to go for. But yeah, he's AC 15, so I hit twice. Let me keep attempting to hit him.
Wow, your
Holy
rolls.
shit.
What the hell, dude?
There we go. Miss. Miss. So 3 hits, 2 misses.
Okay. Jeez.
So if you wouldn't mind making 3 saves versus paralyzation for me. He is a fighter 9, which means that he's going to get to roll saving throws. His save versus paralysis is +6. So d20 +6. He has to roll 16 or better.
All right. First one. The Evan. Fortunately not.
All right. So he's now paralyzed, but I'm just going to take the 1. So he's paralyzed for 1 round.
That's
Yeah.
brutal.
So he got
the fucking 1 right off the bat. Jesus Christ.
So 3d4 is how much damage he took.
So
6. He took 6 points of damage.
is it
From all of
paralyzed?
them. Yeah, paralyzed. It means he's conscious. He can see, but he's like his muscles won't respond well. He's twitching and not moving real well.
Does that make it so that the other bats are gonna want to go towards it now?
No, because the paralysis doesn't happen until after all their attacks have gone off. Because
Okay.
that isn't actually checked till the damages. So the bats didn't know he's paralyzed. It's basically he had to check for paralysis after all the attacks happened.
see.
Now we're on Alabaster.
No,
Alabaster's harder to hit.
not by much. Not with those rolls.
You're
That's
right.
true. But I can't keep rolling like that. There we go.
Can you?
Miss.
Can you though?
Whoops.
Miss. No. That's a
Miss.
miss. That's a hit.
That's a hit. And then
That's a hit.
that's a hit. That's a miss.
Mike.
That's
Oh.
a miss.
Still, I will admit, way better than average rolls. And then he got hit for 5 damage, and you get to make 2 saving throws versus paralysis, which I believe is +4 for him.
So is it D6 or D20 on this?
D20 +6. All saving throws are D20s.
20 plus. Pretty good. So a 24.
24 made, and then the second one.
Yeah, I have to do it twice. I don't want. I was such a good save.
Actually, you know what? You're right. The first saves is fine because they are all identical creatures, so that actually makes sense. So Alabaster's not paralyzed, and I'm done. Who's up?
I think I rolled a 2.
I'm last. I'm a 1. So I think you and Eleonora both rolled 2s.
We were 2s, and so
And then we have a paralyzed Linus.
what was Linus? You're paralyzed, so it is on.
But
Wow, it is
Linus-
on. Wow.
I suppose Linus would have your compadre moving.
Yeah. My Avino friend would be running over to me and probably cast Terror. Well, she can't quite get in range yet.
Avino's a lotion brand, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay, I think we brought this up before.
Yeah,
yes,
Okay.
yes, yes.
We
Okay.
discussed
Where it all
this earlier.
began. That was our in-game session, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
That was fantastic.
I have a bottle of it in my shower.
What's up? What's up?
That means I do too.
Yeah. By proxy.
Yeah, I was gonna say, actually, I think when this first came up, Jay, you also had a bottle in your shower.
Yeah.
Not sponsored.
Not by proxy.
I bought that shit.
But we could be. Vino, what's up?
Yeah. Yeah.
Gamers also
Get
like
on this,
having that
Avino.
silky smooth skin.
That's right.
Get on this.
Your demographic, you know it. Nerdy
Yeah,
white women
so-
and dudes in their 30s.
Shaper, you were paralyzed. Now you are not paralyzed, but your action's done. Eleonora.
Am I within range to
Who's that?
whip one of them?
Yes.
I would like
You
to
might have to
whip.
move, but you can totally move and whip.
Okay, so can't double whip, but I will definitely move and then whip. Because I would like to use my spicy entangle.
Oh, yes. Actually, I don't believe, double checking it, I don't think you guys actually have the double attack yet. It's,
Oh, you had mentioned
Blarth
last
has the
mission
double
that we
attack.
did if we
Yeah.
weren't moving.
No, it's that you're not high enough level yet. It's that
Oh, okay.
Blarth is high enough level. He has it. You guys don't have it yet, but you will have it next level.
Does a 30 hit?
Yeah, oh yeah. They're
Cool.
bad.
Get-
They have an AC of 13. Like, let's be clear here.
so barely.
You're hitting something that weighs less than you do with an AC 13 and like 11 hit points.
So 6 points of damage and 8 spicy entangled.
Yeah, so that bat's not going anywhere. Bam.
Does it hit the ground?
And then
Or is it like
yeah.
a balloon,
It was-
like
it
a
was
very
already
angry balloon?
it was already close to the ground because all the bats are basically hovering, trying to get on bites on the big guys.
Is it dead?
No, but it is hurt because you
Okay.
did. half
Then
its
if
health.
it is on the ground and it is hurt, little s is going to jump on it. Is it incapacitated?
It's not moving anywhere. It's not incapacitated, but you can totally get the attack. Little S can totally hit something
4,
uh,
20
with a 13 AC.
plus 4.
Dragon Slayer coming out to get a bat. That
Nope,
bat's
it rolled a
fucked.
3.
No, it
mind.
just means that he didn't hit a vital part. Like, he basically cut a little on the
He's
fur.
jumped on top and he's kind of like wrangled. Yeah, like random cowboy.
Oh,
Yeah, he's doing a Doctor Strangelove on the back of a giant vampiric bat. I'm like, where did he get the cowboy hat?
He's just doing it with a skull helm. The dragon skull helm that he has.
Oh man.
Ah, little less. Ah, you. All right. Well, how many can I get in a breath weapon at once?
Any group of 5.
Then I will go for a group of 5 with a breath weapon on Baxter.
All right.
I believe this is going to be his second one of the day.
Yes, second one of the day.
Okay. Do I have to actually roll anything for this, or do you have to just?
You just roll his attack damage. You roll 3d6,
That's so cool.
and then I
All
get to
right.
make my saving throws.
I'm trying to freeze them in the air so they drop like racks.
That's
Bleh. That's not the best
Um,
damage.
I have to roll a 16 or better. I don't on any of those. Because, no,
So they all-
15 or better. But they all took full damage. Eleonora, were you attacking one of the ones on Alabaster or one of the ones over on the new Fire Lizard?
Because I don't think
Nope.
the fire lizard would construe it as it's trying to protect me, mother. But part of me
No.
also helps that by protecting it. So probably the one by Baxter, because he's reliably been.
I
Not
would,
One of them's dead.
yeah, I would
And the
almost
other- the
wave
other
him off
5?
if I could, or wave you off if
Yeah.
I could.
Okay. So one of them's
Damn
dead
it.
by Baxter, and the other 4 all have 1 hit point. So you did a ton of damage.
So if I had done one more point of damage, they would all just die. God damn.
Yes. Except the
Um,
1 you rolled. If you just been a 2, they would all been dead.
Now
and
they're
then
just
Blarth,
full of
you get
vengeance.
to now act on your own. What are you doing? You're within reach to attack 2 of them, so you could take attack.
Yeah, I think I'll just do attack. This is plus 10. Okay.
Yeah, so you have to roll a 3 or better on your attack rolls. Blam.
Attack.
1 is dead. No, you missed. You rolled 2.
Okay. Yep.
get wrecked.
It was so certain that it was gonna be better than that. There we go.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
There are
Double
now
it.
3 left alive by you, each with 3 hit points. Each with 1 hit point. So you've nearly killed all of them.
Yo.
All right. That is now Asiago.
All right. Have my well, let's see. Lizard friend is parried, so no movement there, right?
Did you want to use an AoE on them, like Fireball or something?
Considering it here.
Do it. Do it.
Quickly,
Do it.
quickly end them all.
mean, it does
Or
seem
do you have a-
overzealous for given the
Do
hit
you
that
have
they
a
just.
lower level AoE spell? Do you have like a second level AoE spell that you hit him with?
Not currently. Yeah, nothing prepped. I could have like a magic missile or something like that, but no, not really. Not that much damaging stuff. But I don't know, fireball, lightning bolt, but those are both level 3s.
Yes, those are both level 3s.
Light them up, baby. We fireballing out here. All right. Let's try to center this. Obviously, we're not trying to. I mean, our friend's a fire lizard, so I can't imagine doesn't get too hurt by the heat. But yeah, let's take out the lot.
Yeah, he takes automatically half damage from heat or fire. Then he would take a quarter if he made the save.
Yeah, really try not to, but yeah, depending on
But
how
you could
they're
probably
aligned
catch
and
them all, just like angle them off to the side, and you could definitely pull that off.
and yeah, I was, if it happens, it kind of happens, but I think be understanding at least at this point, and yeah, fireball. It's just a little chaotic. Go.
It's 66 points of fun is what that is.
All right. What if I?
Yeah. I can't, even if I make the save, half damage is death.
Wait.
So you killed all 5.
Nice.
Oh, you
well,
did.
Bam.
done.
There are crispy cooked 5 bats on your side.
Crispy
Your
critters.
lizard, when he wakes up, will just immediately start eating them, 1 per round.
Oh, okay. So he's
he
distracted.
can
All right.
he can fit 80 pounds of meat in his mouth in 1 round.
All right.
That's what he's gonna do. He's literally just gonna and swallow.
That's
And
you know what?
swallow.
That's fine. As long as you're not eating my friends, I suppose that's great.
That puts us at top of round.
Well,
Shaper Linus. I am trying to attack you again with the 2 that are over here.
Oh god.
They haven't realized how badly it's gone for them.
I'm a point behind him. Hey, look!
I miss both times.
Oh, thank god.
Whoosh.
Wow.
Yeah, we totally didn't go down for Shaper Linus. We got our own problems dealing with.
Yeah,
I imagined.
Ted Deville.
I actually imagined that Avina spent her round moving over.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah, that's for
Ravina
sure. That's
did
for
the
sure.
double move.
That's
Yeah.
for
So she was ready to like start swinging. Like, you stay off of him. I haven't converted him back yet.
sure. You must go to heaven when he dies.
Alright? This is a long, arduous process.
Because of
It's gonna be
that.
even longer and more arduous if he's dead.
sweetie, you can't change him. It's just
Uh,
I really,
He's,
really hate to see this. You have your entire life ahead of you. Find
You
a way to
don't know
convert
that.
in the way of which god
Also,
is it
isn't-
again?
I can fix
Avino
it.
which,
isn't Avino like a year younger than Shaper Linus? She's like 16 years
He's
old.
16. Linus is 17.
She's a teenage girl.
Right. So
She's
shouldn't.
convinced that she can fix him.
Yeah. No. That's why the
oh.
300 and something year old Eleanor is like, no, no, sweetie, we don't.
Oh boy.
We don't do this.
He's so cool.
No.
Can't let him go.
No. Please stop. You have your entire life in front. You have all 30 years in front of you.
She just has to get him to stop hurting himself with the drugs and worshiping the wrong thing.
Going in with the wrong crowd.
Uh,
you know?
Just has to fix 2 things.
Oh my god, it's only 2 things.
It's only 2 things.
Only 2 things.
How hard could it be?
Fix one thing, then you fix the other. That's all you gotta do.
This is fine.
Does Faerun have therapy yet? If not, can I start it?
This is the catalyst for therapy in Faerun. Or wherever we are.
16-year-old priestesses trying to fix their druid boyfriends. I'm
Yep.
gonna be the uncle, the Dr. Phil of fucking Faerun.
Oh my god.
You are not the father.
When you're in
All right, so
Faerun,
Shaper,
you gotta
um,
pray soon.
What are
There
you
you
and Avino doing now that it's your action up?
Avina's gonna try and cast Terror. Because Avina doesn't know how Linus is doing, because he's laying on the ground flapping his wings
Spooky.
pitifully,
That's
because he's
true, that is
wounded
true.
as fuck. Because bird form has 4 HP. Linus has taken 3 HP. So Avina needs to roll a d4 to find
And
out
then-
exactly how many. Okay, cool. Both the bats and then one of the worms that's like in the ground beneath the bats is also going to be terrified. For the first time in its short life, it feels an irrational emotion it shouldn't have ever experienced.
All right, first one failed. Second one failed. Yeah, the bats go flying off.
Oh, thank God.
Did Shaper Linus want to sacrifice his attack next round to take a swing at one of them with his bird abilities?
With his bird claw?
Imagine you want to transform.
Form of.
He may not actually want to transform. It's still a useful form to be in.
It is still, even though I'm bleeding.
I mean, Avina can feed you potions. Like, she's probably going to want to.
Yeah, I think Avina will probably feed me a potion on her turn. Next round, Linus is going to get up and straighten his ruffled feathers.
Yeah. They got real ruffled. That was some ruffling feathers. Those bats were surprisingly difficult.
Yeah, they were.
They were getting some hits in, that's for sure.
Yeah. Giant vampiric bats. They're very strange. They're not undead. They're just giant vampiric bats. But anyone slain by them, they drain the blood out, and then the corpse gets left, has a not insignificant chance of coming back as undead.
Whoa! So we could have had an undead super lizard on our hands if things went really bad?
Yeah, only the charm would no longer apply because they don't charm. It would not
Yeah,
work the
it
same
would
on
be
the
against
monster.
us. Yeah. No.
Yeah.
That's fucking terrifying, actually.
I mean, it would probably lose its fire breathing. It would just become a giant lizard zombie. As long as it's not a giant lizard vampire, because that'd be horrible. Why does that lizard keep turning into a bat? All right. Yeah. What's the plan now? Shaper, do you want to rethink your actions, or does it still sound like a good idea to continue flying along both? Maybe without the group yelling at the same time, because that was probably what attracted the bats.
Probably
around.
Hell
yeah. Linus is gonna drink a potion, and then hold his wing up to his beak, like vertically, being like, and then he will continue scouting, with a much closer eye for any movement whatsoever.
Yeah, that's gonna give you. You're gonna end up flying all the way over to the far wall on the eastern side, which you pass over what looks like a bridge below you. It's shown way larger than it actually is. That's not the actual scale on the bridge. The bridge is a.
Oh, he's posting memes, by the way. Just heads up.
Oh, whoops! I was in the wrong spot. I was checking out Cynthia's post and your post. There we are. Now you've gotten the whole length of that giant chasm, which that's a big goddamn chasm. Yeah, it's a giant rope bridge that goes all the way across. It goes like 500 feet across at that narrow section there.
Damn.
600 feet end to end. Thick, huge ropes. Huge ropes. And the whole thing is made out of what looks like some wood some giant bones of like dinosaurs, giant chunks of some of the trunks of the mushrooms, and really big thick rope that looks like it's been woven from the vines that you've seen up above out in the jungles. And they're not... You're pretty sure they'd have decayed if they'd been here longer than a couple of decades. So you think that bridge is at best a couple of decades old, or maybe newer. And you think you see several large figures on the northern edge of the bridge, as in to say, humanoid forms larger than man-sized, hanging out with big, freaking, looks like these like immensely large stone axes. So like those, like imagine like a regular like human chipped large stone axe that people would have embedded in the top of like an axe head to use to chop on trees back in the day, back like 5,000 years ago, but scale it for an ogre. So that rock probably weighs like 10 pounds and it has a cutting edge. It looks like they also have several short spears or maybe javelins next to them.
We've done this before.
Yeah.
Made
You
friends
count-
with the
You
local
count
people.
3 of them out in the open. 3 ogres on the northern side of the bridge.
Okay.
And it looks like on both sides, they're the ropes splaying out from the ends get tied down to dozens of different like rocky outcroppings, like things wedged into holes in the ground, and then one of the ropes will get tied to it. So it's not like one spot is holding down the ropes, but like dozens of them on each side, because the ropes get woven together and then splay back out and then get tied down in order to support the weight of that ridiculously heavy bridge.
I like the little bridge. It's cute.
It is a big bridge.
600-foot bridge. Little bridge.
Little bridge.
Little bridge.
I mean, compared to the rest of the area, let's be fair.
Insignificant.
The power of this bridge is insignificant. No. So what's the plan, folks?
Do we want to talk to the ogres? How are we doing this? We ignore the ogres?
I'm curious if there's so much the talking type.
Probably not. But you
They're
never
looking
know.
mighty defensible of the of their side of the bridge there.
I mean, you guys.
That's a great picture.
Yeah, that is. You guys have. You guys have a mechanism for getting people across the bridge. Sorry, across the chasm. Alabaster, because Alabaster can take like 2 people at a time, and you could just tell your fire lizard to like crawl down the chasm and crawl up to the side.
Oh, cool.
That just takes a little bit of time, and you run the risk of wandering encounters while this is going on. Versus, you could go over the bridge, and it guarantees you an encounter with the ogres.
We've
Now,
got a
can
drum
we-
person prepared, right?
Get the ogres on the bridge and knock the bridge down.
What?
Just saying.
You want them to knock the bridge down?
I mean, we don't need it, so maybe.
How many ogres do we see in total right now?
3 on the north side.
As a bird, can I do like a high flyover and see if there are any more past the ogres?
Do you want to start going north of the chasm?
Yeah, I mean,
You've already now seen some flying things. How much do you want to risk there might be more flying things? I'm just wondering, like, does it feel like a good risk to Shaper Linus? Because you have bird instincts now, which means the owl form is letting you know it's like, well, hey, there are flyers in the area. Let's be a little careful.
Yeah, just a little bit past the ogres to see if there's like more ogres past those ogres. Are we doing like ogreception over here?
we?
What do you guys think?
Actually, I think I need to take a quick AFK. I haven't had a break since I got off work. I need a second.
Yeah, that makes sense.
What?
You guys could also go check out the holes. That would make my life like a lot of fun.
Why don't we get the ogres to jump in the holes for us? We can find out what's down the holes.
I mean, that would be fun. Just tossing ogres into holes, you know, like normal people.
Normal people, normal things.
Yeah, I mean, you guys can, like you said, you can get across the chasm without the bridge. Whether or not you deal with the ogres, that's up to you. You could decide to get across the bridge and then deal with the ogres from the other side. You could decide to storm across the bridge. You could decide to just sneak and avoid them completely. That is up to you guys.
Do they seem to be like just guarding it, or are they just kind of hanging out?
They look like they're guarding the end of the bridge.
Okay.
Are they friendly?
Do they see us?
Can we talk to them?
We can probably talk to them. They might not talk back, but we can talk to them.
Hey,
What if a
yo.
giant
I mean,
fire
I speak
No.
orc. I'm fluent in orc. I can talk shit. Rap battle?
Giant.
Rap
pretty well
battle?
if you're a giant.
Okay.
I said we go talk to them.
I mean, I'm gonna guess it's not gonna pop off too well, but could. I suppose it would be myself.
Oh, okay. So
And
there's actually
who
now
else
that you
can-
guys have come far enough north, there's an area on the ceiling that is a stronger glow that's now way more noticeable. It's like 500 or 600 feet across, but like also half a mile from you, up in the air. Not up in the air, but like half a mile north of you, and then like 300 or 400 feet up. It looks like there's a much fuller, thicker fungal colony that gives off a brighter light. So the area to the north actually is slightly more well lit.
I mean, we could just fly over them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we probably should fly and come from behind if we're gonna go after them at all.
Yeah.
yeah. I don't know. I'm just curious. Like, this isn't. Do we think the orcs are in front of where we need to get as far as getting after our main objective here, or I don't know. I'm a little
Wait, are
wary
they-
of just jumping into them.
Are they
Basically.
orcs or ogres? I thought they were ogres.
They're ogres.
My
Ogres.
mistake. Ogres. My mistake. That's-
Yeah, let's just fly over. We you know, Baxter looks like he could stretch his wings.
I don't mind it. Yeah, that's fine with me. If we wanted to expedite it, I mean, with. Although Shaper, you're not a owl anymore, yeah.
No, I'm still an owl.
Okay. I mean, with that being the case. I mean, I could grab a ferry mount and then you and Eleanor could travel by Alabaster, and I could tell our lizard friend to cross where we cross. We could expedite it.
I mean, can the lizard cross the pit?
Yeah, it's not super fast at it, but he can go down and then back up. Because he's four-legged and lizards are decent at climbing. They have claws, so he can grip. He can't run across the bottom, but he can climb across the bottom.
Okay.
So the plan is you guys are going to fly across and then have him, the lizard, climb across and then just be on the other side. And you can choose to deal with the ogres or not when you're on the other side.
Sounds good.
This isn't quite how ogres look, but this is the impression. These are the stories about how ogres look that people tell their kids in this part of the world. Ogres don't actually have lizard-like feet like that, and they're not. Their faces are not as lizard-like like that. But that axe and like what they're wearing, real similar. Very similar, especially the ratio to size to person standing next to him. Here, let me give you the full image. That's the right ratio. They look more human though. They definitely don't look quite as reptilian in the actual image of them.
What is bestial?
Yeah, they look more human. They look just like a big squat, maybe in that way that Neanderthals kind of look. Like that's very similar. Actual ones look more like this guy. Oh, whoops! I thought I copied.
Yes, it was very similar looking.
No, I thought I copied an actual image. Apparently, I didn't
Nah,
copy it.
clear differences. I don't know what you're
Tell by
talking
the
about.
picture.
That's fucked up, dude. You think they all look the same?
I mean, maybe.
See how it
Or
is,
different?
lettuce.
with his bird eyes, yeah. Even without his bird eyes, yeah.
So that's close to how ogres look. It's just they have larger, exaggerated features, but clearly human-like. Like big, strong shoulders, huge heads, these huge noses, huge ears, huge teeth. It's just like everything's exaggerated on them. It's like someone took a big, ugly human and like cranked everything to 11.
Hell yeah.
They hit that Oblivion randomizer a little too hard.
Yeah, yeah.
It fell down the oak tree and had every branch on the way down.
Yep.
Very much so. Very much so. In fact, some ogres occasionally are these emaciated things, so they're like over 9 feet tall, but they only weigh like 350 pounds. Super emaciated looking. And then normal ogres are going to weigh on the order of like 600 pounds, but then there are obese ogres that literally weigh like over 1,100 pounds.
Thick
It's
boys.
the big boys are like they're just like big old fat guys, but like they're also like world's strongest men style like things. So
Like the lady we saw getting plowed by the bugbear in the game.
my
Oh God.
That's right. Baldur's, baby.
God.
That was experience.
Hey, if I have to be haunted by that memory, so do the rest of you.
Thanks for bringing it back.
You're welcome. Just doing my job.
Thanks for bringing it back.
Ray would have wanted it that way.
all right. What's the plan now that you're on the other side?
Do we want to try to scout behind these ogres and see if there's like more? See what they're guarding?
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys could either go north of them, you could go east of them, you could follow along to the left along the chasm, right along the chasm, or you could start going north in pretty much any direction across the broad flat plain. You could have Brother Linus start flying out a bit and maybe get the lay of the land.
Could
It is
we
brighter
send
here.
the fire lizard through just to stampede and like be like, go get him, and then like slap him on the hiney and then see what happens?
I mean, you could have him just go up and breathe on him. He's willing to do that because he likes.
I was
doing
gonna say
that, and
that's
then
some
he'll
good
leave them.
eating.
I was kind of thinking, like, basically, if he's crossing right with us, I kind of instructed him just to cross, so he's going to be popping up into them anyways. I think that's an encounter. Whether he wants to or not at this point.
Yeah, I mean, he's willing to just move up and just start breathing on ogres and then eat them. He wants to do that. That feels good to him.
Yeah, I'll let him rip.
Yeah.
Like
Roll
that.
initiative. Let's see if the ogres get to do anything before all of a sudden Fire Lizard. The bear.
So that is, I think, so +1 initiative. Doop-a-doop-a-doo. Maybe just a 1d6 initiative?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, cool. Damn, looks like you probably will be, or nah.
Well, let's find out if you surprised him.
Sneaky lizard.
I mean, he does do that. He's a freaking giant monitor lizard. Yeah, you surprised him. So
Wow.
you get an entire round before they get to react.
Okay.
You'll go. They get to then act immediately after you because it'll be the next round. But like he gets a surprise round on them.
Does get the jump.
And it's 3 of them. So his initial instinct is usually to do a breath weapon if it's more than one thing.
Yeah.
That's what he does.
I respect his breath weapon initiative.
I mean, that'll use up his breath weapon for the day, but that's what he does. His instinctive reaction is like more than one breath weapon.
It's a
That
good
seems
time
like
for
a
it.
good.
Yeah. It's a good instinct.
So just an AT6, it looks like.
Yeah, Jesus Christ, he's gonna melt their flesh off.
25.
Ugh.
So.
Smells very.
So I actually do
Fleshy.
have to roll because
Bad.
there's a chance that they can survive.
Yeah, that wasn't. There's a 1 in there. Those 6s.
Yeah. If I fail to save,
Couple
they're
2s,
dead.
so-
That's that's how this works right now. Any fails in this roll will result in
Being melted?
like because 25 is more hit points than they have. 12 on the other hand is like they'll survive but just have a bunch of 3rd-degree burns in their body and be miserable, but they'll survive.
Yeah, that
It makes life
Lizard just
miserable.
pops up and lights you on fire.
Yeah, because they save as 4th level fighters. So against breath weapons, they get a d20 plus 2. Not that great.
Okay.
So they're having a good day.
No,
They
this is
found
not a good day at all.
snackies.
First one.
Ooh.
Made it. Failed. Made it. So, 2 of them are at 8 hit points now from 20. And no, 19 hit points. So they're 7 hit points. 2 of them are at 7 hit points and 1 of them's dead.
Nice.
I now get to make a morale check because that was overwhelming. Yeah, these ogres run. Which means your lizard isn't going to chase him because he's just going to eat the dead one.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Yum.
My kingdom for a
the-
magic missile.
The Loger, yeah, you guys can now launch attacks at them from a range and kill them before they leave.
I don't
they
really
have
have
7 hit points,
anything.
so if you guys are doing a magic missile, if the 2 of you each want to like plug, you guys can probably drop them because you guys have 3 missiles each, so it's 3d6 plus 3.
I don't think I have it memorized right now. Is the only problem.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't have prepped either.
That's why I said my kingdom for a magic missile. Like, it is not a spell that I
Anyone have
memorized.
any range attacks like throw javelins or anything? Because they're still invisible line of sight.
I could throw.
I mean, you could also have Baxter do a crush on one of them, fly over and land on it.
Oh, can I? Okay. Yeah, let's do that.
No, like literally, let's use some dragon special abilities.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do a crush.
All right, so I have to make a saving throw versus
Crush targets which make a saving throw
Which is
versus
Death
Death
Ray.
Ray. Take.
which is a plus
take
5. So I have to roll an 11 or
D6.
better, or just take damage. And at that point, you're right next to it, and you can swing at it. So that's the advantage here. Is you're literally you get a Baxter crush, and then you get to make an immediate
Yeah.
attack. It's
Sounds fun.
that's how being a Dragon Knight works.
I like it. All right. So do I have to roll the 2d6, or you just have to roll?
I make it, so I move out of the way because I'm just trying to avoid it. But now you immediately get to make the attack, and you and Baxter are now threatening this guy.
Blam! He's like, holy shit, that was close. And then I'm like,
Yeah.
ha ha!
Technically, you and Baxter are threatening both of them because they were just running away.
Surprise, motherfucker!
Yeah, you hit one.
Okay, should I roll for the
As
other one?
you cut into him with your short sword.
Ha ha! Do I need to roll damage, or are they hurt enough that I just killed?
No, they have 7 hit points. I don't think you. I don't think your minimum's 7. I think
Right,
your
right.
minimum's lower than that. Not
Yeah.
a lot lower, but it is lower than that.
Let's see what we do. 1d10 plus 2. Shwa! Alright, he survives.
Very badly hurt though. You
He
definitely
doesn't
crit
like
the fuck out of him. Yeah, does not like that. Shaper Linus, were you going to do anything in bird form?
I
Heck 'em.
fly over and shit on their heads.
You don't want to do a dive bomb attack, like do a two like fly and do the 2 claws.
Did sound like a bomb, I suppose.
That would involve me getting close to them and possibly getting grabbed.
So you're like, no, let's not. Did you want to have Avino use like her sling and sling at one of them?
Sure.
You're at medium range, so it's just a regular attack roll, hitting AC 14 right now.
Plus, dex of 0, so 0.
No, she's a 3rd level. Doesn't she have a +1?
I thought she was at 2nd level. Oh, she is at 3rd level, so she would be a plus. So there'd be a 3 instead of a 2. So she does not hit now.
Doesn't hit. Yeah, fair enough. Asiago, were you doing anything other than letting your lizard attack?
Magic missile?
I don't have it prepped either. We could huck it. We do have him in the pack. The huck on the back would be pretty badass.
I mean, we do have some skill with throwing rocks, so I do have a hand axe, +7 to it. I don't know if that counts as thrown though.
You can throw a hand axe.
Alrighty, I'm gonna fucking.
Don't miss!
You'd have to move and then throw it in order to get within range, because hand
You
axes
got it.
don't have super far range, but you can move up and then throw the hand axe at the dude.
Absolutely. Xena.
It's going to be long range, so it's at a -1, but that still hits, because you've got a +6. +7 is a 16, -1 is 15, so that hits, and then you're getting to do hand axe damage. So D6 plus 3. Do you want to drop the one that had been hit by Blarth, or did you want to hit the other one and just damage him?
Probably the one that's likely to go down.
All right, that drops him. So now there's only one ogre. Asiago, did you want to also do like a run and throw something? Do you have any javelins or anything like that you want to hurl at someone?
Well, let's see. I have the ability with I'm a range attack on a pole arm. Can I just do a swoop down and fucking like?
Oh, do it just a charge attack on him?
Just
and
a
just
fucking
do a charge with the pole arm?
Yeah, pole axes, motherfucking
Yeah.
ass. Like
Yeah. Do a pole axe. You're just literally gonna charge the dude with your pole axe out, which puts you into melee.
Badass.
But yeah. Wham! One of those WoW warrior charges here with a 2-handed weapon.
Alright, so we are doing 19.
Yeah, that hits. I mean, you can roll for damage if you wanna, flex.
I mean, we gotta
it.
see what it actually is.
Flex.
Yeah.
So this guy has 7 hit points for
16 damage. Whack!
He goes from 7 to -9 and loses.
I
the
do
will.
the Xeno warrior princess.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that is, you guys have taken out all 3 of the ogres.
I guess it's true. Size really does matter. Well done, Asiago. You penetrated him with your mighty javelin.
Oh my god.
Nah,
It was the right it was the right tool. I'll commend you on that. Absolutely.
this good old crescent blade. This thing's been wonderful since I found it.
Yeah, you've been enjoying it. It has served you well thus far.
Really lobs the heads off nicely. It's got that little circular, like it's right around it.
You really got that nice spiral throw. Just sort of like sang as it sailed through the air. It was delightful.
I think the singing was them screaming in agony as they died, but
Yeah.
close enough.
It was like a chorus. It was a beautiful ensemble.
And some big sons of bitches. We'll wait
You know,
for
for how large they were, they scram very daintily. Kind of reminded me of Brother Linus. In your old days, before you became cool.
Quite terrifying sometimes, you know that?
Only sometimes. I should
I
try
mean,
harder.
your group has kill fu. Like that is not to be denied.
You definitely have kill fu.
Well, should we continue through the air or maybe settle down and travel a little closer together?
And maybe have Linus do another round of checking around the area. So speaking of, do you want to start spiraling out, or do you want to crisscross back and forth across the vast cavern? Because you guys had been using the rule of left. Did you guys want to, now that you're on the other side, go back along the left and get to the far western edge of the cavern wall and then proceed along that way? Or did you want to head straight north, head in a different direction, or head maybe east along the other way of the chasm?
Probably doing some arcs from where we are, or maybe like a crisscross from where we are. Cause like,
which way did you want to start? Give me the cardinal direction.
yeah. So I mean, we've got this bridge here, right? So the bridge being built on this side, clearly it's away from the mushroom forest for safety reasons, but it's this far out for probably a good reason, meaning that there's probably some sort of village or some encampment reason for this bridge to have been built.
They were
less than a
guarding
couple decades
something.
ago. Yeah. So I'm gonna start doing like a straight kind of north flight, and then like an arc around, back around to the right, and then maybe do like a circle around to the left, and then come back.
All right. Kind of how far do you want to go north?
Gonna be keeping a very close eye on anything moving in the distance.
I
But
think you see movement way off to the west. Not tall things though.
okay. We don't see any glowing lights or smoke or anything rising up.
There
right?
is a big glowing thing where the fungus is thicker on the ceiling. It only is like 220 feet above the floor of the northern area over here, and it's much brighter. It's like 3 or 4 times brighter than the rest of the cavern. So, in the immediate area here in the north, it's not quite torchlight, but it's kind of like being in where there's those glowing blue panels on glowing green panels on wall panels in like emergency lighting.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost at that level, but reddish glow.
Okay.
And you also think there's a giant lake to the northeast.
Northeast. That maybe
So you
that's where they live. But I don't see any like
you did
campfires or anything, right?
No. So you did a big spiral out, or did curving out. So you kind of wanted to get like the northern directions. So the 11 area, that's the big place in the ceiling that has the giant concentration of fungus that's much brighter in the area around it. And you can see this giant lake up there. 13 is that big lake.
Okay.
The actual drop towards the lake is actually pretty shallow incline. It doesn't like drop off steeply or anything.
Maybe we head.
There is, when you actually the northern area looks like it's slightly higher than the rest of it. Now that you're out this far here and towards the lake, you actually can see there's a light source out across the water in the distance. Maybe a couple 1,000 feet away, not too far. And it looks like there are some giant rough rafts that look like there's a bunch of trees that have been lashed together with ropes on the shoreline here. Trees the size of freaking raft sized for ogres. About where 13 is at the shoreline.
That's a nice big boat. Could put on. It's enough room for like us plus like things. Could possibly fit Baxter and the lizard. What have we named the lizard? I feel bad calling him the lizard.
I don't think we should name the lizard.
I don't want to name the lizard.
Yeah, this is not a long-term lizard.
The lizard still wants to eat you guys.
We don't
I'm
need the help.
gonna name him.
I'm sorry,
Sparky.
that's what she said. It's not
His
a
name is
long-term lizard.
Sparky, and I love him. I know he doesn't love me. He's bitey. That's fine. That's his. You know what? He's big on consent, and he's not.
You
consenting.
realize we're gonna have to kill it later,
She-
right?
I'm not gonna kill Sparky. I'm just gonna look the other way when you three
Well,
decide to
Sparky
dispatch.
might try to eat. Oh, great! I'm already naming it now. Great.
Oh no. Why?
Man.
You're
We're doing
welcome,
so
all of
well.
you. I know.
Did you
It's
want
a
to check
genius
out
idea.
the water, the boats? Did you want to explore more of the northern plains? Did you want to find the walls and explore along them? You guys have options to figure out where things are here. I will say the place where the rafts are on the shoreline is basically that due north from where the bridge ends. It's like it's the shortest distance to the water from the bridge.
Yeah.
What's the plan? Did you want to check out the water? Did you want to check out to your left along the chasm towards the other wall, or did you want to check out to the right along the chasm towards the other wall, or maybe head off towards that bright light and the movement out to the northwest, out across the vast plains here of the vast hollow?
So many options. So many
You
places
do.
to
It's a
explore.
big goddamn room, man.
Places.
We found. so
I'm
many
looking
rooms.
forward to once you guys get to the point of me just being able to copy the whole page and share the whole thing, so you can just see the whole room at once.
You could just do that now.
Free shit.
Mm,
Well,
could.
we could if Linus would fly around and take a look at it all.
Fine. If I
Oh,
die, though, I'm haunting you.
That's
forever.
fair.
that reminds
Absolutely
me,
fair.
I have to
Promise?
check something real quick.
No, you promise.
Just this stoned ghost fucking owl, like.
Hey, listen, if I do this.
Just fucking shut up.
So, what's your plan, sir?
Yeah. What's the plan, Sam?
Oh my god. Fine. Fine.
You don't
Fine.
gotta, but
Fine.
it would be
Fine.
nice.
I mean, none of these directions require, other than going over the water, that a flyer does it. You guys could just, as a group, just go left, go
But
straight
it
up,
wouldn't be
go
as
right. You could.
fast. I suppose
It
it would
would
be
be
faster in terms of getting there, just not knowing what's there.
Yes.
Um,
I mean, because Alabaster does fly faster than the owl does. So, like, Alabaster, you could scout, but you don't see. Alabaster sees well, but he can't tell you what he sees. You don't see that great, so.
I would complain
of us
that
can ride on
Alabaster almost died, but so did the owl. So not a good argument there.
Did you guys want to look for a spot to maybe set up camp and, like, nestle in for the night so that you guys can get new spells for the day?
That sounds like a great idea. I didn't know we could do that down here. Is there any way we
Well, you
could do
guys
that we
have
know
been
would be
exploring this
safe?
cavern for the better part of, like, 5 hours now.
I mean, that's only been 5 hours, though. Like,
In one room. You've been 5 hours in one room.
yeah, we honestly, I have spells for days left. Like, I've barely burned any spells since we last rested.
I did burn one fireball, but
I've
I
burned
suppose-
2 breath weapons, but if you guys think you got the spells you need for what's to come, we can keep going.
The large lizard is out of breath weapons for the day, by the way.
That
Yes,
too.
but is it still going to like us tomorrow?
No.
I don't
Nope.
get another save for a bit.
Maybe it's it's
It's
in
days.
phase,
It's
yeah.
days, maybe weeks. It's a while
Oh,
that you have
okay.
a charm for.
Okay.
I mean,
Cool.
You do got
don't
locked in.
sleep on it. Like, don't like nestle your head up against it, because it will just take nibbles on the people that don't have it charmed during the night.
Doesn't it still have a giant ogre leg in its mouth, or has it already consumed those?
Oh, it's already consumed those.
Oh my goodness. Okay, well,
Oh my god, we need to find more ogres.
it's entirely possible that maybe we just take on the ant cavern and we just let nature take its course. Like this is the very hungry caterpillar of lizards.
So the lizard is eaten enough where he's now sated for the moment and could probably like lie down and go to sleep for a week and not have to eat again.
I was gonna say, is this the kind of like reptile where
But if
like
you
it eats
keep
one big
feeding him,
meal
he'll
and
keep
it's good
eating.
for a week?
Because
Will he-
here's the
but
thing. He
does
has
he
a
get
much higher
bigger?
metabolism than a regular lizard.
Sure.
He's about as big
full
as
of
he's gonna
flavor.
get.
Okay.
Yeah. But he could still like power down and like go to like go into like that reptilian torpor, he can still
I
do
imagine
that.
it's like a toddler when you just tell them like, oh hey, eat as much as you want. Like their tiny brains can't comprehend the concept of full, and they will just keep eating, and then eventually they will puke all over the backseat of the car. So like, because they have zero concept of what
And then they
that
will eat it.
pain is. Vivian used to do that all the time when they were little. My mom would take them out to breakfast and they'd get them like the big plate, and then they'd be like, yeah, Vivian got sick on the way home. I'm like, what did you feed them? You're like, oh, only like 4 pieces of French toast, 6 pieces of bacon, 2 sausages, a Danish, and then some,
And
spring
a
fruit.
small army, yeah.
Oh, and a granola bar. And I'm like, mother.
4 glasses of milk, pint each.
Couple beers.
Listen, that's been Andy's recommendation since day fucking
No,
0.
whiskey. I've been hearing whiskey
Yeah.
and shit for Van
It's been bourbon. It's been bourbon.
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 On bourbon.
Bourbon.
On bourbon.
Yep.
On bourbon. Literally, like, haven't delivered baby yet, working at OP, asking for advice from people. I can hear Andy from the other side of the store. Have you tried bourbon?
No, not yet.
I have a headache. Have you tried bourbon? Andy. I have a stomachache. Have you tried bourbon? Andy.
But have you?
Look,
But
all
have
I'm saying is, people still kept asking me to babysit their kids. It didn't work nearly as well as I thought it would.
No. I think you just misunderstand how desperate parents can be to get away from their kids sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure there's been more than one try of people to legalize tranquilizer darts for their kids.
Yep.
It's already an active problem. There are parents that will over-medicate their kids with like baby NyQuil so that they'll quote go to sleep. It's fucking awful.
You want that little tranquilizer gun with the dart,
Oh, and so they're just gonna fuck up their livers from a
And-
very early
Alright.
age.
and they're down.
I will
So-
say, toward our point, I would like to. Was there? You said there was a light across the water, or you said to the northwest, so away from the water a little bit.
East?
No,
Across the
northeast.
water?
Northeast.
Northeast
so
across the water.
across the water.
Yep.
I say we go for it. We got some indication of something. Either we find what we need to find, or hopefully get a clue to what we need to find. Because at this point, we're just wandering in this big ass cavern and don't know where to go.
What direction were the ogres running?
Towards the shore where the rafts were.
Okay. Why don't I'm gonna get me killed. Why don't I do a little bit of extra scouting around here just to see if there's any like encampments or something, to the east and the west a little bit. And then if I don't see anything, then we can just hop in the boat and go across the water.
I do like getting on the boat. Sounds nice.
And perhaps if we, I think as far as the distance is concerned, we still need to travel a distance to even get to the boat. So yeah, go ahead and
All right, real quick.
Do some
Let me use the restroom. I'll be right back before you guys start that.
yeah, if you want to scout around the sides, we gotta close that time anyways, or
Around
move
the
across,
outside.
so.
How are we
Yeah,
doing on
right.
like rations and shit ourselves? Like,
Well, we can get some fish out of the water here.
I'm sure those fish are delightful. Like, I mean, he keeps leading us to water, so
I mean, they might be.
do we want to inspect the water?
Hmm.
I'm sure there aren't any ants in it, so that's a nice thing. But water is scary.
Water is scary.
Probably not a bad idea to do a little detect evil.
Smoking.
I might do
This
that.
sounds like a grand idea, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, I'll do that one. That's a great
Uh,
idea, though.
I
I mean,
do
if
we have the concept of
if-
time right now?
we are traveling, I mean, like, yeah, he said 5 hours down here. I mean, we've been moving along. We haven't really stopped yet, so.
Right, but there's no like moon or sun in the sky that we can detect because we're
No.
underground.
Certainly.
Just our
Like,
natural sleep cycles.
ugh. Do elves not sleep in this world?
They do the 2 hours thing, I think.
Got it. So
Very, very little.
Asiago and my internal clocks are probably going to be a little fucked.
Yeah.
Gonna have to rely on
us humans.
You meat sacks. When you guys take a nap, we'll just count for 2 and then.
Yep.
Mm. Uh,
So I heard the sleep part. It's not so much sleeping. It's just you have to meditate for 8 hours in order to do spellcasting stuff. Because you still have to like clear your mind.
right. I thought it was elf trance. I just couldn't remember how long.
Yeah, I think Forgotten Realms has it as less. Yeah. Oh, okay, cool. So I still have a shopping trip and going to my work in the middle of the day.
No, that's fine. We're
Okay.
just not going to sort
Got it. Okay, fair enough. Got it. Sorry, was roommates had questions.
Okay.
No worries.
You know how it
So,
is with
yeah.
roommates.
How do they?
Questions and things.
My roommate Brett, his car had an issue involving transmission. Not an actual transmission problem, but like a system related to it.
Right.
So he's not driving his car until he gets that fixed. So he's
Right.
just been borrowing different roommates' cars.
That's smart.
Do what you can.
I mean, it was my vacation week, so I wasn't like driving to work every day. So,
Yeah.
all right. So you guys are gonna head to the rafts and then head
Oh,
towards the light.
Before we do that, I'm gonna scout around a little bit to the east and to the west. I guess mostly to the east because that's the part of the map we haven't been able to see, and isn't lit up by a giant glowing ball of fungus on the ceiling. And just to see if there's anything like a camp or an old settlement or something that these ogres might have been inhabiting, other than whatever's across the water. And then and just to also make sure we don't get like flanked on the
Looking
water.
around, you're spending more time now looking around. You think that it's not the large mushrooms like they're over the mushroom forest, but there's like a moss carpet of fungus on the ground.
Ew.
And you can see what almost looks like game trails in places, looking very reminiscent to like how like herds of like goats or cattle or something move across fields of cover and then slowly eat it and like make holes and like clear it out and then move on to the next section. So it looks like there's some sort of herd animal around here that nibbles on the fungus and then moves on. Which might explain the slow moving that you saw way to the west. That might be that the herds are over on the other side right now. And then over here on the east, the water continues all the way to the edge. And you do find a fairly decent sized looking cave on the eastern wall.
Really?
About 1,500 feet from the chasm and about 1,000 feet from the water.
A cave, you say?
Yeah, it's about 40 feet up off the ground. And the cave is about 40 feet across. And it kind of heads to the south.
Take a glance by it. Do a couple of little look-de-loos. Like a loop-de-loo and a looky-loo at the same time.
Yeah.
Loop-de-looky. Loop.
Loop-de-loos. Loop.
You don't see any movement. And it looks like the cave just kind of continues on a slight slope down to the south. At least the 200 feet you can see.
Okay. Do I see any signs of habitation at all?
No. There's no, like, the fungus from the ceiling and the fungus from the floor of the cavern isn't really up on it. There's not excess light. You don't see bones lying around. You don't see any of that kind of stuff. Actually looks very sparse and clean.
That's a little odd. Cautiously go in a little bit deeper, see if there's anything of note before writing it off. Do I see any like footprints or marks on the ground or signs on the
No.
wall? Or...
But you do see that after like 300 feet, the the hallway starts turning. It levels out a little bit, and it turns off to the east. And based on the way it's echoing, it sounds like maybe it opens up in a couple, like 100 feet or so. But you're losing your ability to see.
Does it look like this has been carved out, like by sentience rather than time and erosion?
You know, looking around, you don't see evidence of pig marks, but like there's this vague impression that like maybe someone has tried to make this look as natural as possible while keeping it fairly uniform on average in thickness and height, but also keeping it relatively like as uninteresting looking as possible so that people wouldn't want to necessarily go in. Like, why would you? It's so uninteresting. There's no bones, there's no like extra rubble, there's no impression that there's hidden passages. It feels very normal cave looking, boring cave looking.
Too normal. Alright, I head back to the group. Ah shit. Scratch out in the dirt. Suspicious cave. Too boring and normal looking. Too clean for a cave.
Huh.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like we got probably more ogres or something worse.
I mean,
Ogres aren't particularly clean, so
That's
something
the
smarter?
yeah, it's also 40 feet up. I doubt the ogres would be climbing up 40 feet. It's probably like a storage room or something, or some sort of like ritual chamber. I don't know, but it's suspicious because it's too neatly organized to look like a cave. If that makes sense.
It is suspicious. It is suspicious.
It is very suspicious.
Oh, it looks like a cave, but it isn't a cave.
Yes.
No, it's a
it
home.
looks like a cave. It walks like a cave. It talks
It is
like a cave.
not a cave.
But it is not a cave.
I think
Those
you
are
might
just
say
a-
more like it feels like it's a cave that's a hallway, but it's so almost suspiciously like a hallway.
Kinda
While
sounds
also
like what-
simultaneously looking like as cave-like as possible. That it feels like somebody curated it, like tore out some rocks here and there to like make sure it's the same width, like being real careful to not dislodge other rocks to make sure it doesn't widen in weird places.
Cave is a mimic. We must escape now.
I feel like this is kind of what we're after.
Yeah, that's why I'm like,
We should head over there and check that out.
don't mind if I do.
What do you think,
Alright, well,
Eleanor? I was
the,
initially thinking across the water, but I'm down with this plan if you all are. And it sounds
we
like
can
two
still
of us
go
are,
across the
so
water. We
I
can
wanna
go
see
to
this
the cave.
first.
Let's
Yeah,
do
we're over here. May as well go into the cave and then across the water.
it. Let's see.
Maybe there's a folding boat inside the cave that we can
Going
use.
into the
Fuck
cave
off.
in the cave that's in the cave inside the cave.
Dream
Yo,
of a foam boat.
Yo, dog.
Yeah. All right. So the group has climbed up and is now descending down this cavern. Alabactor's acting a bit skittish, as is the fire lizard.
As we
Someone's
get
got
into the
spooked.
cave or down into the cave?
As you get into the cave.
Okay. Skittish, huh?
Yeah. Are you still in bird form, or did you want to turn back into Shaper Linus form?
If we're gonna be properly exploring, let's go ahead and go back to Shaper Linus form.
All right. So, As you approach it opening up into a larger chamber, there's an odor in the back of your nose.
Almonds?
No,
Paprika.
malt vinegar.
Hmm. Oh.
Cooking?
Ew, boy. Okay. Last time we had things that were getting
And Alan Baxter is
Pickles.
beginning to just like do that like scraping and
Salivate.
like, wanting to back out.
Oh.
No, he wants to back out of the room. The fire lizard looks apprehensive. Alabaster wants to back out of the room.
That's different.
I think we got a dragon.
Dragon. I mean,
That's
yeah, that would
my
make
guess.
sense. But I mean, are dragons making malt vinegar chips?
No, but someone's
mean-
feeding dragons probably things that are pickled or something.
I was gonna say black dragons do have an affinity for pickles.
True.
I do so love pickles.
Oh no.
As you hear this deep
Slithery.
feminine voice
Oh no.
from above you.
Oh
Above?
fun.
Yeah, above the opening. It was
Aye.
climbing on the wall above you.
Oh lordy.
The room itself is like 250 feet across, like 60, 70 feet tall. And you guys are at this 50-foot wide opening coming out into the room. And looking up, there's this kind of blackish, vague impression of a draconic form towards the ceiling.
We're not pickles.
But we have that pickled cow still.
Oh, we
We
do.
do.
An offering.
We might not be pickles, but this is.
Bring it forth. We'll see if it's acceptable.
Have
Fourth, we
really
bring
been
it.
lugging that cow around this whole time.
Yeah.
It's like in a barrel tied to your belongings on Alabaster.
We knew.
We came prepared.
Eventually.
Roll it towards the side as this black dragon scampers down there, and you can hear it now a little bit, but you're like, oh man, that thing is way stealthier than anything that size has a right to be.
Yeah.
How big is this
fun.
black dragon?
It's larger than a rhinoceros. It's maybe
Okay.
all of its if you put all of its body together and made it as compact as possible, it's probably the size of an elephant. But its actual body is smaller than elephants because its wings are if she spreads them, they're 60, 70 feet across, and she's probably 60, 70 feet from tip of snout to tip of tail.
The tip of tail.
With 4 legs, long talons on each the end of each limb, huge wings, this immense body, a neck that's easily 20 feet long, and this large head with 2 horns.
Kind of like how deceptive a cat's true length can be, because they tend to be really paunched up amongst
Yeah.
themselves, even when they're moving. And it isn't until they choose to be like a jaguar looks kind of compact until you realize, holy shit, that thing actually has some fucking reach.
Like a spring.
Fun.
Dragons can enter the cat dimension. Makes sense. I mean, it is kind of a smaller dragon.
Technically, it's of the age category small, which it's size huge, but it's the age category small.
This would be the second black dragon. My hands are on top of my head. I am speaking out of game.
Yeah, we
Looking
already
at
have
Andy.
someone who's killed a black dragon before on his little S.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, we could double up.
Then again,
2 helms.
you guys want to try to tame this one too? No.
I can turn them into spalders.
Oh, I assure you, I'm not that easy to tame.
I didn't say it in game. I'm sorry.
You have to say it though.
You whisper in your voice, and the dragon's like, "No, I can hear you just fine. You're very, very loud."
I hope you like the pickled cow.
This one's just talking. So it'll crack it open. Doesn't smell like poison. And then just takes the whole thing and tears off chunks and starts swallowing it. This is delicious pickled meat. Oh, it's so good. Oh, and it's a different pickling juice than my own. Much better.
Yes, this comes
Oh,
from the
what are those
far-off
spices?
provinces of,
Is
we
that
can name the region that we're
peppercorn?
from.
Is that
And
peppercorn? Is that a
fresh
hint
dill
of
from the
garlic?
Cerulean Mountains,
and
absolutely.
Dill.
Cultivated
I
the
love
bay
to
leaves
dip in some
myself on
dill.
my farm. You should come by sometime.
Mm.
I would love to show you where it is.
So, you don't look like ogres, and you don't talk like you're being controlled by either the tentacled fishman or that ball with the claws that's trying to bring them all back to life out of their temple.
Wait. Go back up a sec.
Don't ask her to repeat herself. You pick it up the first time, or be silent. I'm
No,
sorry, ma'am. He doesn't
where
understand
is
how to
this
behave
ball with
himself.
claws?
The out at the old temple that the tentacled fishman lived at. Yes, it's a almost looks like a beholder, but not nearly enough eye stalks, and more tentacles along the bottom of it, and 2 crab pincers on the sides of it. An eye of the deep, I think it's colloquially referred to.
Oh.
Any sort of knowledges that might give us a hint to this thing?
I don't think any of you guys possess the right stuff for that.
This sounds like a mountainous creature. Definitely, survival mountains would get us. Yeah, definitely. Knowledge magic, maybe?
Maybe, but like it's more like you'd have to have like knowledge of like oceans or something like that. They're weird ones. This isn't the best image, but man, like the way she
Fishing!
described
I
it.
call him.
Say, with Asiago's knowledge of oceans, could we make an argument, maybe at a disadvantage, of maybe
spend a little bit
fish
of time
tails?
describing it, and that's the mental image that Asiago gets of it. So it has it has 2 tentacles with eye stalks, a large central eye, huge teeth, and then these crab claws. And it both can swim real effortlessly in the water, and it has some tentacles behind it that it kind of uses for propulsion. But it can also fly in the air.
When did this creature show up?
Here, are you asking her, or are you asking me as the DM?
No, asking her.
I mean, if you're gonna answer as the DM, then be.
Yeah.
He managed to find his way down here. Shortly after I found my way down, but through a different way. I've been collecting treasure from various ships that I lure onto reefs the last few decades. It's a pretty good area for it. And then putting the shinies that I like in my hoard. He came up out of the water from one of the abyssal plains. Maybe 20 years, 30 years ago? 30 years ago, I think. And discovered that temple complex and has managed to awaken some of the cocooned inhabitants that are at the base of the temple, but he has not gotten most of them. I think he's looking for some activation or something to be able to release all of them from their torpor. Presumably he has some grandiose plan of forming some new vast underwater empire, conquering islands and nations that border the sea. But really, like all beholders, far more ambition than capability. Although they are delicious.
They're quite crunchy. Be delightful in a savory brine.
Yeah, but I don't want to find out if he has any reasonably good eye rays, so I just keep to myself, fly out high, and sleep for, well, I've been sleeping on and off for the last few years.
I'd be happy to go investigate for you.
I'll say, don't you think it would be a problem, if he were to eventually wake up all of his little friends for you?
No, for you it would be a problem.
Do you mind
their
if we
controls don't work on me?
Mind if we go and stop this from happening?
Oh no, by all means. Please help yourself.
You too. Enjoy the cow.
Thank you. I appreciate it very much. Please, anytime you want to bring, let me get the name right here. Dashkule, please come visit me and bring me delicious offerings. Maybe some treasure too. I enjoy anything shiny.
Oh, okay. Well, if we come across a beholder we need to dispatch,
There's another version of them.
we'll maybe we'll bring it on by for you.
And if we were to bring you, Dash Kule and such, what would we?
No. Her name is Dashkule.
Oh.
She is Dashkule. She wants you to bring her delicious things.
And Dash Kule, if we were to bring you delicious things, what could we get potentially in return?
I see. I was gonna.
You can hang out in my presence, and I won't eat you.
That sounds very, very fair. Thank you so much. You're so wonderful.
And we appreciate
Like,
the
you
compliments on our
appreciate,
on our
flattery.
cooking.
It's. I don't get it very often. I don't hang out with enough others. All the other
You
dragons
know,
that live
female
on nearby
empowerment
islands
is
are, for the
so
most part,
important these days.
just not good conversationalists. The even the few that can talk for the most part are either insulting or braggarts who want all the nearby dragons to submit, like that red dragon that's been trying to claim sovereignty over this entire island from a perch that he has up to the north of the island.
Their drinks are simply the worst, aren't they? Just so hot-headed.
I believe you guys actually saw that dragon flying when you
Yeah.
first arrived at the island.
Yeah, we'd like to clear him out eventually. We're not quite ready for it, but someday.
Try not to do it when you're on a wooden boat. Boats are quite flammable, and he's quite good at setting them aflame.
Might need your help for that, but another time.
Yeah, that's a lot of really good food to make me want to deal with a red dragon that can plan and talk.
We'll
While I'm
see what,
saying he's overconfident, I'm not saying that overconfidence is completely misplaced.
I see. Well, after we get you some shinies and some food, and we have a good plan, maybe we'll talk about it someday.
Excellent.
All right, then I think we should probably get out of here
Alrighty.
now. So we're gonna back
Never
out.
been more
slowly.
glad that we held on to a giant barrel of pickled cow in
Right?
my goddamn life. The second I see the black dragon, I'm just like, we've done this before. We've done this. We have pickled dragon. We have rare pickled. We have charcuterie. We have charcuterie for this lady dragon. What do bitches love? Fucking charcuterie.
Yeah, so Dashkule, she's not quite as angular as that, but that's very close to what she looks like.
Cool.
Yeah, she's 70 feet from tip to tip. Very large. Very terrifying in that sort of like, existential sort of way.
Pretty elegant and terrifying all in one.
Yeah.
I think we can
This-
take her.
Beholder thing looks fucking terrifying. What in the absolute fucking?
The
The
second
eye
one
of the deep.
Is this
especially.
a thing?
Yeah, the eye of the deep.
Is it like a singular thing, like the Tarrasque?
It's a treat, is what it is for this dragon.
No,
and we're
they're-
gonna
I've
get it.
never
They're-
heard of this
they're-
thing before. Where's this
They're
thing
the
from?
beholders that you can run into on the bottom of the ocean. They're the eyes of the deep.
Fantastic.
They're, I believe, either from the late 70s or at the latest, like 1981 in D&D.
Well, Darkness is gonna have a whole new set of friends.
Gotta say, this is amazing. I've never seen this before.
I love these guys.
This
They
is
look awful.
delightful.
It's like an
I'll-
anglerfish meets some sort of Alaskan crab.
Right?
Like those
I lo-
pincers seem purely cosmetic, but like they would just hold you just ever so firmly. Not so much so to crush you, because then the eye rays would be superfluous. And he wants you to suffer.
I really
man.
like this
Here's,
first black picture. It looks like he's got a beard and like he's done some drugs and he's just like, hey man,
Oh, yeah.
you chill? We chill? I think we're chill. All right.
Thought a little too hard about when he might die.
Yeah. It's like I've seen all of reality, man. It's kind of fucked up. You can go kick it. And then the second black and white picture, that guy's seen some shit. That guy's like getting the fuck out of Dodge. He realized that the Popo were on the way, and he don't want none of that.
Did that one find a shark? He's like, I'm gonna chew on this shark. That's cool.
You notice he's flipping the sharks upside down, so they go into torpor. It's the
Oh,
asshole
there
maneuver.
are size sharks in, or are those fish?
Those look
They're
like
probably
really large fish. Yeah. How have I never heard of this thing before? This
I was
is
gonna
great.
say I thought I knew most of every kind of flavor of beholder out there. I don't know why I never thought about a deep sea beholder.
Yeah, Eye of the Deep. It's a classic D&D monster.
Truly classic. Good lord. How have they not made this into 5th edition yet? This would be like
Well,
I think it
I
has.
think
I think there's an adventure or two, or the DM's Guild has added it, so it's been converted.
I was gonna say it's probably like supplementary, like UGC style stuff, but there's nothing officially printed, which is a shame. Guess what? I've been perfect in the Ghost of Saltwater Marsh.
right? This fucking image right here.
Ah.
Yay!
Hey!
See, that looks like something out of World of Warcraft.
Right?
That looks cooler.
And then the OG. He's really uncertain about everything.
I don't know, guys.
Are you sure? This doesn't sound safe.
That's hilarious.
This
I
is
don't know, man. Maybe.
maybe.
Some of them look like they're having existential
Maybe
crises.
not. Maybe.
Okay, it's 10 o'clock and we have a plan. There's a dragon who likes our salted pickled meats. That's gonna let us live, which is nice.
It wants to eat beholders,
So
and
if rather than start an encounter, you guys, if you want to, take the rafts over to the island. We can leave off with you guys literally being on the temple complex out on the island.
I think
sounds
we
good.
want to probably rest so that we can refigure spells.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. Like maybe ask the dragon, hey, can we sleep maybe at the front of the entrance to this place and like avoid being out on the plain where like things could find you?
I mean, we gave her a
Yeah.
cow. I would hope
Yeah.
so.
The dragon is willing to let you spend the night as guests. You have guest rights from her for one day of sleeping.
Cool.
Perfect.
I will
enough.
take
Yeah.
that.
Right?
So yeah, you guys can each gain back. You're taking a full night's rest, so everybody can get back D4 hit points before any healing that you might do.
Next.
It would be 4?
Took a little.
Yeah. And then you might do other spells they might do. You might want to burn through all your spells before you sleep.
Yeah. I was grabbing all functional spells.
Protection from good and evil. Protection from evil. I don't think that'll hit the dragon.
Protection from evil is literally it's anything that wants to do you harm. The spell
Perfect.
counts as evil for that purposes.
Wonderful. I'm gonna cast it. It's just a
Same.
single on yourself,
Yeah.
right?
And now you can't sleep tonight because everything is.
All of reality.
I do still have water breathing, which is great. I'll probably go over my spell list again tomorrow.
Oh,
but
yeah.
Charm Person doesn't seem to be as useful.
Eye of the Deep was actually in the AD&D First Edition in 1977 in the Monster Manual. It was literally in the OG Monster Manual from 77.
Did we get a?
If Asiago and I were to summon fairy mounts of an aquatic nature, could we carry +1 person?
Yeah, you'd be going slower. There's also the raft. Like, if you guys just want to go out on the raft,
Could we have our fey mounts pull the raft so we go faster?
yeah, it'd be slower, but you'd
It'd be
be able
slower?
to,
Okay.
like, yeah, but you could totally carry the whole group on the rafts with just pulling with those with the fey mounts.
Okay. I was trying to think of something that would give us more maneuverability, like in the event that we
mean, it'd be
encounter
faster
something
than
in the
paddling.
water.
Run into a
That's
crack.
fair.
Yeah.
That's all I'm wondering is like would it give us some sort of edge in the event we were
Yeah.
in some sort of
Yeah.
GTA situation? I'll probably memorize that instead of charm person.
Yeah, we killed bats and ogres. Missing anything?
And had a conversation with the dragon.
That was terrifying.
So
Yep.
the dragon did mention
A lot, actually.
yeah, and it mostly mentions important fact of it attacks the boats that are in the nearby waters and then steals their treasure. And if we're going to be trying to set up a commerce thing from the islands, we can't let a dragon just eat our shipments.
So we
We're-
might wanna
we're gonna have to get
consider
rid of the
sending
red
out some
dragon.
bait ships so that we can then try and take on the red dragon when we feel ready.
No,
first-
not just the red dragon. The black dragon that we just talked to was saying she was sinking ships and taking their goodies.
But the
They
red
mentioned
dragon
more
was
than just the red
also-
dragon. They mentioned dragons, plural, in the nearby
Yeah.
islands.
Yeah.
So creating our enterprise might be, dead on arrival. No big deal.
No, I mean we can clear out the dragons in theory.
Right now,
That sounds like so much extra work for
we
not
wanna
that much money.
stop the beholder from rezzing the dudes, and then we can
Yes.
feed that to the black dragon, and maybe use it to get help to take out some other dragons. Maybe also give it some treasure.
The dragon also has a lot of treasure, which would be definitely worth our time and money.
I don't see the dragon giving us their treasure, but
Well, I think he's not factoring in for consent on that, babe.
I get that. But I'd rather not attack this dragon in here.
Right now, absolutely.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I mean, a common thing that people will do with dragons.
I want
is
her to come to my farm.
to get a dragon to swear fealty. That happens. But the other one is if you get a dragon to surrender, getting it to be like, hey, we want all your hoard. Make sure you tell us where it all is. Dragons will offer up their whole hoard to survive. Be like, yeah, let me go. I will leave. I'll go to some other country. I won't mess with you anymore.
Something I want her
Because
to come to
intelligent
our
dragons
farm.
do that.
You want a black dragon
Yes.
known for being
Yes.
evil
Yeah.
and killing people
Okay.
On our farm.
Yes.
on our farm.
Yes.
Kind of.
I'm sorry, Brother Linus. Perhaps you've forgotten one itsy bitsy, ever so crucial little tiny detail. There is a vampire lord who is amassing power back home by the farm, and I want more friends. And if one of
Yes,
those
that
friends
is
happens
true.
to be a bloodthirsty dragon, so fucking be it.
I will say, so the lore on black dragons in Beckme is that they can be cruel on the individual basis.
Sure.
They're never the ones who go about things like being cruel to whole nations or like rampaging through villages. No, they're cruel to individuals, and they like sitting on shinies. Red dragons and green dragons are the ones that are like cruel to nations. Green dragons are like, yeah, I corrupted the king of this nation, and I became his trusted advisor, and like, organized it so that like people would sacrifice their third child because I thought that was funny.
Right.
Like that's the shit green dragons do. Red dragons are like, no, I just I go and eat people that I find outside, and I burn every 10th house because they didn't give me enough things. Black dragons are like, yeah, so I was flying over this place and saw this person, and they flipped me off, so like I followed them home and like killed their animals and like messed with that one person. It's like, do anything to the nearby farms? Like, why would I bother? Like, that sounds like a lot of work, man. Black dragons are not like proactive about being evil. They're reactive about being evil. They're like, no, I'm an asshole in person, and like if I want shiny things, I know I have to get them. But provide a different way to get shiny things, and black dragons are way more agreeable than greens or reds.
They're the really expensive girlfriend.
By the way-
As long as she's being taken care of, she's totally fine. She's super happy to be there and do her thing. But the second she gets bored, she feels like someone's called her out, she's going to step up.
Blues and whites, by the way, are not actually known for like evil things. They're just also not known for good things.
I mean,
and they're also not really ethical or unethical. They're kind of neutral when it comes to that kind of stuff. Some dragons can be a little cruel. Some dragons can be a little good. But the blues and whites, for instance, are mostly just
a force of
whites
nature.
Yeah, whites are forces of nature. Blues tend to operate on like, hey, this is my land. I have clearly defined property rights. Like I worked with the local tribes in the area. These are my herds. They're allowed to take like one animal like every season. Otherwise, they're not allowed to come on my land. That's how blues operate.
So what we really
Whereas-
want is just a bunch of blues.
Sure. But in the
So-
meantime,
Or a bunch of golds. They're like, no, we've done the analysis and ran the math, and our psychohistorical projections are that this is the best country to back. So we've changed their tax laws and made it so that they're kinder towards beggars and the homeless. That's
so we
gold
get a
dragon.
blue, a black, a white, and a green. We don't need a red, which we've already agreed upon because they're just a little bit too extra.
Yeah.
And we find a way for them to all work within the confines of each other. And that way we don't have to worry about the vampire lord that's like literally a county over.
Are you trying to start a chromatic dragon fight?
What it sounds like.
So the dragon.
We're literally wearing the armor of white dragons right now.
Yeah, I think the
We've
white
already
dragon-
started the whole dragon flight concept. I just need to add paint.
So you guys are wearing dragon hide made from the more animalistic whites, not the spellcasting talking whites. Like that was a spellcasting talking black. Its intelligence, for instance, was 10.
Right.
It's a talking, spellcasting, 10 intelligence dragon.
Can the dragons tell the difference in terms of which skin is which? They'd be like, oh, that's just from the dumb ones. Like if we encounter a smart white one, would he be like, oh, you just have the dummy skin? Okay, you're fine.
He might not actually like that you're wearing the skins of other dragons. The black did not give a shit that you were wearing white skin. Nor
Probably
did she
thought it-
particularly care that you were riding around in a white. Because whatever, it's a white.
They do dumb shit. They like to do dumb shit. It's whatever. We don't yuck yums. It's fine. No, I love her. I want her to come like hang out and vibe on my farm with me.
Let's
I
keep
want to feed
cooking.
her gold coins.
Yeah, we'll make a
I'll
little
create an
treasure
entire
trove.
pickling mill for them. I'll pickle all the things for them.
Well, maybe if we can kill this Eye of the Deep and then start the pickling process, can go parlay. But I don't like the fact that she's, another dragon in our immediate vicinity that is actively taking the, potential riches that we are.
Didn't
going to
immediately
explore.
kill us, and I'm gonna take that as a win to start.
A real treasure the
Because we
friendships we
fed
make
it.
along the way.
I think if we hadn't fed it, it might have had a problem with us.
We
being
should
there.
be feeding him treasure. That's how dragons get bigger.
We have to feed our own dragon treasure. Do you want to feed 2 dragons? Do you know
Yes.
how many mouths that is to feed? We don't have that kind of money.
Not yet, but we will eventually.
We kinda do.
No,
I'm
we
gonna say
don't.
we do have a fair amount of money right now. What happened here? Think of Brother Linus, real estate. If we just find a way to make the vampire go away, maybe through the power of dragons, we can then find a way to rent out that complex. We'll turn it into a mall.
And next the world.
I don't know if this world has the concept of malls yet. Maybe we'll have to invent that.
That would be pretty
They have
amazing.
concept of bazaars, which are the big open air malls, like with shop fronts and buildings, and then people with tents. Like they have huge bazaars in many cities. It's very common.
I guess we'll have to do bazaars then. Okay.
But ours is gonna have a food court and a Macy's.
And blackjack
I was
Bazaars.
gonna say,
Stops with the
I was
big
gonna
old
say
cook-
hookers and blow, but all those work. All those work.
All right. Well,
What the hell is that? Is that a hot topic? What the hell does that mean?
A hot topic.
Hot
it only
topic?
sells things that are slightly on fire.
But just aesthetically. Like the flames are on like the bottoms of the top. They cascade upwards along the
Yeah, we just cast
Yeah.
ever-burning flame on everything and sell that inside there.
The hell is that? A Cinnabon? All right. Sounds delicious.
Then a bound.
Well, I agree with you that we need to take care of this evil vampire lord, but
You're
I
not
don't know.
sure about befriending a black dragon?
Yeah, the whole revenge thing.
Is it
Like-
because she's black? Brother,
Wow.
I thought you were literally. You keep saying this black dragon is evil. This black dragon is literally. She hasn't done anything evil to us yet.
Yeah, what we're trying to say is we have audio recordings now.
Yep.
There's another one that
We'll post
there was
it
a
on.
clip that I had of Captain. It was just I can't remember what it was.
Is that,
also,
is
it
that
was
gonna
on the
be our
same vein.
banner? White dragons only?
Odd. Oh.
White dragons are powerful.
Is that the okay?
Wait, was it the English that had the white dragon, or was that the Welsh that had the white dragon, or were they both?
I think they both
Was
have
both
the
a
white
white-
dragon.
Yeah. Okay.
But yes, I want to make friends with the black dragon. I thought I'd made that clear.
You have. I'm just trying to question whether or not it's the sanest move to make.
Weren't
Given
you originally a cleric,
who-
and then
who-
you
Who said anything about sane in this group?
Right. We change our minds about things all the time. Open
We
free
had
your mind, and the
we've
rest will
given the
follow.
pickled cow away. We have a black dragon slaying goblin anyway. We'll be okay. If things go wrong,
You are the poking of the giant world turtle that fucking is all pissed off.
that was fun. Okay.
That was
Yeah.
hilarious.
that was
I
actually
I don't want to hear about your worries and concerns. You literally probably said the end of existence on this.
I just woke up Godzilla. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
You got to choose your two deadly animals that you wanted to try and commune with. I'm choosing mine. Don't we all get to pick one? Is that not how this works?
You can commune with them. I
Asiago got a lizard.
mean, you already have your two.
Baxter, how
deadly-
dare you? Little S is not a beast. He is a humanoid individual with thoughts and feelings and emotions. I would like a giant lizard type creature to call my own. Everyone else has gotten one. I think it's my time. My turn now. It is only fair.
I
It's a
just did
compelling
this
argument.
out of necessity. I didn't really want to like hang out with the lizard the whole time. We gotta try to
Don't
figure out.
say
how
that
to
out loud. You'll hurt
I'm
Sparky's
fucking
feelings.
whispering. Fuck you.
Just the fact that you're thinking it makes me sad.
Oh,
He knows.
He's gonna gotta go.
I knew the end game when I started this.
Sparky is a living, breathing creature who has protected us on
Certainly.
numerous occasions.
Who will eat us all given the chance?
Not if you keep casting animal friendship again.
I
All right.
Assuming
So,
it succeeds.
You guys are gonna have the whole map basically for the next session. You'll have learned that there's a small tribe of humans living way across from the dragon. They hunt in the. They get food and water from like the mushroom forest. They also prey on. There's deep rothae, like those underground shaggy cross between like a muskox and like sheep that live on the vast plains of the north here, eating the lichen that grows on the floor. The tunnels, yeah, there are worms in there, but totally, you guys should just go hang out near them. It'd be fine. Nothing can go wrong. But here's the big map. Look how big that goddamn thing is. Every square is 500 feet. You see that
Fucking
temple
enormous.
all the way? See that temple on that island? That island is like 600-700 feet across with a giant freaking 500-foot temple on it.
Why does this
Huge.
feel so much bigger than the island that we're actually fucking on?
Right?
It's not.
It's because this underground complex is bigger on the inside, apparently.
Fucking icebergs. That's fucking.
Alright. But it does look like we also have a couple of means of egress out of this.
So that's the
Area.
giant ziggurat that's out there on the island from above. That there's a light coming from the top.
Okay, so 12 is the dragon's lair, I assume then?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. I'm interested to see where 10 and area 20 level 1 go, but let's take care of the ziggurat first for sure. And then there's a little secret cave off to the left.
That's the access point that the humans use to bypass the chasm to get to the fungal thing, because they hunt the ants, they hunt the other things in the forest, and they collect mushrooms, and they also get the rothe, and then they use it to get access to the lake on the far side of it to get water.
Humans, so like cave people, I guess.
Descendants of the same group of laborers that used to work for the Copro that just have not been all taken over by them yet. There are only like 60 of them, so it's not very many. They're slowly dying off. And most recently, like, ones are being taken by ogres and things and brought to the island as, potential slaves for the Copra.
We should try and maybe rescue them.
But that is going to be for next time. So that is the end of this session. So you guys are nearing the end of the where the Copra are anyway, out on that underneath that giant temple.
Cool.
You have no idea where that passageway to the north goes, though.
We do like being in caves. It's a thing.
Good stuff.
Also, the that waterway there.
The one to the north.
Yeah. That is spilling out. You can actually, the dragon, that's what she uses to fly up and out. Because that eventually comes out on it's a cavern on the side of the island in that lake that is up above. So the water that's flowing into the lake overspills into that and slowly pours down into this lake here, which then seeps into the ground, into the volcano.
So that comes from all the way up top?
Yep. Yeah. Whereas
Awesome.
the other one going out just leads off further into the, beneath the depths of the earth.
I don't want to mess with the thing up top again, where we were throwing rocks at it. But
What could possibly go wrong?
Right on. Good stuff.
Yeah.
Thank you very
Great
much
progress.
Yeah.
for the hosting. And yeah, that was a lot of fun.
that was
Yeah,
good.
Thank you guys for playing, and I will see
Freaking
you.
Dragon.
Soon?
Yeah, it's
Well,
just 2
wow.
weeks actually. It's well, I'll see you guys much sooner, and actually no, I'll see all of you sooner because we'll be chit chatting. But the next game will be on February 1st. That
Hell
Thursday.
yeah.
Oh, let me double check something really quick.
I'll try to cut the VOD tomorrow probably while I work. 'cause I'm
So
too busy.
we won't be available on February 15th for a game.
Oh, okay, got it.
That's when we start our vacation, and we'll be in.
We're gonna be in San Jose.
We'll be
Oh,
in
nice.
San Jose.
So we're gonna try then to wrap up this thing in 2 weeks. That way you guys can go to vacation, and then we'll figure out what you guys are gonna do next after you come back.
Cool.
Or if your other game doesn't want to play on the 8th, we would love to take a slot.
Yeah, I think they're gonna want to play.
But we're more important.
Oh,
Yes, the B team is clearly.
It stands for the best team, obviously.
Right.
clearly.
Man,
Clearly.
the Eyes of the Deep, the art style is so all over the place.
It really
I
is.
mean, Wizards of the Coast has a hard time nailing
Like,
shit
look at
down.
this one. Look how cute and psychotic that one looks.
Oh, he just wants to hug you and suck out your soul.
Ooh.
You sold your soul a long time ago. Don't worry about it.
You fool, I'm already empty.
Wow. he does look like he just wants to give you a hug. That eye is unhinged.
It really is.
Cocaine. Fucking.
The fact that he's got these like two nostril things below it gives him this like giant thing on his forehead with the like squinty eye look below it. It's hard for my brain to wrap around that that's his normal eye.
Yeah, so it looks like the 5th edition stats people have made up. This person only put him at CR4,
Jeez.
but he has legendary action.
Controversial
Major
opinion.
rating.
I think anything that's even a pseudo boss fight should get at least one legendary action, or there should be at least one layer action, because otherwise combat gets really fucking stale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I attacked. Oh, I miss. Okay.
Yeah,
Sorry
so
to go
basically, it
wording
gets
it.
a legendary action every round, and it can just make an eye on someone else's turn.
Which I think sounds great, personally. Like, I think that's chaotic enough that it's like, ooh, you just did a cool thing. Cool. He looked at you doing the cool thing, but he looked a little too intensely. Roll save versus death ray. I still haven't had you guys fight a beholder yet in my game.
All right.
It's about time.
Yeah, we're still
No,
alive.
I think we're good.
No. I feel like I'm robbing you of an enriching experience.
Yeah, she doesn't want to take away your opportunities.
I think
That
I
one that
think-
you face in Baldi's was pretty cool, even though it's not technically a beholder.
It's technically like a seer or something. They didn't call it a beholder, they called it something else.
It's like a gazer or some shit.
Seeker. Because it's not like they don't have the copyright for it. Apparently
Oh.
that was originally supposed to be a Bahir.
Uh,
Which I thought was funny, because Dan played during, like, when it was still in
How about
beta or
a
whatever.
beer holder?
Nah.
I'd fight one of those.
Right? Just get
With
you
a beer.
smashed. He smashes
Yep.
you while he gets you smashed.
Did anybody level up this time?
Probably not.
Yes. Avino just cracked over.
Go.
She's
What?
level 4.
Get it, girl.
Oh, sweet.
She's cracked over.
Get
She's
girl.
at 6,027 XP.
I need a
It
level her up. You still got level 2 stats?
It's 10:30. I am very tired. I've not been sleeping well. You
Have-
will have a lovely rest of your night.
Have a good evening.
Yeah. Have a great night. Let me go ahead and, Andy, if you've got a moment, go ahead and
And level her.
yeah.
Yeah, her base attack still remains +1, but your spells are going to be 3 and 2 for first and second.
You get a D6. Alright. Can I reroll that? God lied.
What did you get?
A 2.
That means she's going to have a 3, is what she actually rolled, because that's how we do it.
Okay.
We just round it up.
And she does not have a Constitution modifier. I need to get her some better stats. Alright. Let's grab the Cleric.